know what you are looking forward to. So whatever it is that tickles your fancy, send me a message 054-257-1061. I'll be opening the phone lines. I want to hear your own thoughts on the Ghana Premier League, which starts tonight. What are your expectations of the new Ghana Premier League season? So think of all of that a little later when we open the phone lines. I want to hear from you on what you are expecting from the upcoming Ghana Premier League season, which starts later tonight. Ray, it looks like there's an update to the Hearts of Oak supporter episode. Let me put it that way. You remember yesterday we spoke with Kobe Jones and then Sabato Akins. We're trying to find out what was happening. So we heard from Akins' side, the group that says there's a problem somewhere, must be resolved. Then we heard from Mr. Kwabena Fojo Jones, aka Kobe Jones, on the side of the NCC saying that, well, they were going to proceed with tomorrow's gathering. Yeah. And that they had been given the green lights by their legal counsel to go ahead and proceed and do their things. Mm-hmm. And that in terms of challenges, well, once they've been given the green light, it means that the legal people will handle whatever legal issues, but they should go and do their thing. Yeah. But there's an update.
Okay, good.
And the update is on the National Chapters Delegate Conference, NCDC, of Accra Hearts of Oak Sporting Club. Okay. Now, the leadership, the press is a press release, and it says, the leadership of the National Chapters Committee, NCC, of Accra Hearts of Oak Sporting Club wishes to inform all delegates, supporters, and the general public that the National Chapters Delegates Conference, NCDC, originally scheduled for the 6th of September 2025, remains postponed. Now, this was released on the 11th of September. This was yesterday. But I don't know why they are saying that scheduled for the 6th of September. You let me continue. Yeah. It remains postponed. This is due to ongoing consultations with the club's management and patrons aimed at finalizing key arrangements for the event. The NCC is currently engaging with these key stakeholders to agree on a new date for the conference and to update them on recent developments related to its planning and organization. We assure all stakeholders that a revised date for the conference will be officially announced immediately upon the conclusion of these discussions. As we approach the start of the new league season, we take this opportunity to engage our fans, sympathizers, and candidates participating in the upcoming elections to focus their efforts on rallying behind the team. Our league campaign kicks off this Friday with a home fixture against Hohoe United at the Accra Sports Stadium, and your unwavering support is vital. We respectfully urge all delegates, supporters, and well-wishers to remain calm, united, and committed as we work together to ensure a successful and well-coordinated conference. Your understanding and loyalty to the Phobian family, they say, are deeply appreciated. It's not like counting understanding and loyalty, though, but yeah, that's the statement. Right. And then it ends with "Never Say Die." Signed, Elvis Herman Hesse Jr. into brackets, National Chairman.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
Well, Nathan, it is always good to obey the courts. If you are not scared of going to jail, you can defy the orders of the courts. Once you are aware, once the EC has been served, the national EC has been served, and once communication has come to you that, look, because of an injunction, we cannot go ahead to conduct elections, or we cannot go ahead to preside over this election. The voice of reason must speak to anybody who is, whether in support or not in support of whatever the developments are.
Sporty FM.
And so that clear defiance or that intent to defy the court orders, as stated by a member of the NCC, the outgoing PR, Kobe Jones, clearly got some of us worried. Okay? It got some of us worried. And I am happy they've done a U-turn. I am happy they've decided not to go ahead with whatever it is they wanted to do tomorrow.
Okay.
It is in their own interest. So when the substantive matter on the interlocutory injunction is heard,
Yes.
and the court deems it fit that they go ahead with the elections, they are free to do so. You see, in this letter, they were trying so hard to run away from the injunction, trying so hard to make it look like they have to do some consultations as far as organizing the thing is concerned. They have to speak to some stakeholders. They didn't want to behave as if, indeed, it is the court order that is restraining them. But Nathan, that is the fact of the matter. It is the court order that has held them. Because no lawyer would advise them to go ahead with what they wanted to do.
Really?
Oh, yes, sir. Come
But did we not hear yesterday that they had been told, according to Mr.
Nathan.
Jones Asante in Fojo, that they had been told by their lawyers to proceed?
Maybe the lawyer said it in passing that, we can proceed, we will see what will happen. But the lawyers who do not want to go and be begging for their clients in any contempt charge would let them know the facts of the matter. If you go ahead, you risk going to jail for contempt. That is the reason why they've suspended this thing. Otherwise, Nathan, which stakeholders can stop them from going ahead with their delegates conference? But it is the wise thing they've done. They've allowed wisdom to lead them.
Okay.
So let's see how things happen. After the court hearing, after the matters have been argued out in court, whatever has to be done should be done. And for me, Nathan, you see, when you are going to conduct an election and one party feels aggrieved, on one party comes with a petition detailing infractions, Nathan, the wisest thing to do is to sit with that party, thoroughly try to explain for them to understand the reasons behind some of the decisions, or the reasons why some of the bylaws may be bypassed, or some of the laws may be upheld, some may not be. It is only fair that way, so that peace prevails before the election. And that is why I kept asking Nathan, in all of this, is the management of House concerned? Were they concerned? Because whatever the supporters win does has a direct effect on the club.
Okay.
If there's chaos, if they are in the media fighting each other at each other's neck, clearly it doesn't go well for the club hearts of folk. And so whatever needs to be done for an amicable resolution to be reached, for them to go ahead with their elections and elect those they duly feel can lead the course of the NCC, so be it. So be done. So, Nathan, it's a welcoming piece of information.
Okay.
And it's good to know that they have decided to back down their initial assureding to go ahead and conduct the elections. We wish them well.
So you are saying that this is a wise thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not going ahead with the event.
It does them a lot of good. It does them a lot of good. Because you defy the orders of the court. And my brother, you could land where you don't want to be. So it's good they've taken this step.
Okay.
I was hoping we could speak to maybe Sabato or the chairman of the NCC to at least pick their thoughts on what's happened so far. But sometimes it's difficult finding them. So we may just proceed. But they are calling for support today.
Yeah,
they are calling for a full capacity Accra Sports Stadium as they begin their quest to win the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League.
Okay.
It is good. And it is exciting to know that Hearts of Oak and a new manager, Didi Dramani, are starting the campaign against newly promoted Hoho United.
Yep.
Newly promoted side definitely should give them confidence. And all the things that will happen before the game, the president will possibly do the official kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Stoneboy will be in the stands to excite the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's reason to go to the Accra Sports Stadium tonight. So I agree with that call. That House of Folk supporters come in your as Alhaji Gusa say, bulk majority. Come in your numbers and support your darling club. But for some of us, later you know where we stand on this matter. Hoho United. Hoho United. Yes, that is where some of us stand.
I see. So that's the team you are backing.
Oh yes. So I'm backing everything from Volta this season. Pando
So Heart of Lions
and Hoho United.
and Hoho United.
They are the teams I'm backing to do the business this
Interesting.
season.
Interesting.
So those are my clubs. So if you ask me which club I'm supporting, I'm supporting the teams from Volta.
Pando, Heart of Lions,
Yes.
and then Hoho.
Hoho United.
I see.
Yes, it's not Hoho. Hoho United.
Hoho. Interesting. So yeah, that's the update from the camp of Accra Hearts of Oak with all these supporter issues. So it looks like tomorrow's gathering, per the statement, is not happening.
Yeah.
They said they are doing consultations
They are afraid.
on organization, and they didn't say anything about court injunction.
They are afraid. That is why they won't go ahead. But
They are afraid. So why is it that yesterday?
If they say they be man, they should do it and let's see.
So why is it that yesterday the general vibe was that it was actually going to happen?
But later, you can be doing too no. Until the lawyers explain to you what is ahead of you if you defy the orders of the court. When the lawyers make you aware of the consequences of your action, you decide which way you want to go.
Okay.
You want to go to Isawam, or you want to live in your house in peace. So Nathan, I think that it's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
So let's commend the NCC for taking a step back
Okay.
to properly analyze things. We wish them well.
Okay. All right. Now that statement has come in from Accra Hearts of Oak, it looks like it is quite clear
Sporty FM.
that they will not be holding the delegates congress or conference. It looks like that clearly will not happen. Right? It looks like that will not happen. So they will have to move on from that and figure out the way forward. Clearly, Ray believes that it's because they do not want to they do not want to upset the law. And I totally agree. The timing of it is just too uncanny.
Yeah.
Right? They say, okay, but the official word is that they say they want to consult and sort out organization issue. No problem. The thing is that it is not happening this weekend.
But we know that they are afraid.
They said they would announce a date. So yeah.
Sporty
So
FM.
after the court hearing,
Yes.
they can announce a date and then we'll take it from there.
Okay.
But
They should
for now,
announce-
they are afraid.
For now, you suspect they are afraid.
The fear of contempt is what has led them to this. And it's good to be afraid. Nathan, see, Nathan, when you enter the court, for any reason at all, when they put you in that dock and you have to answer questions, later if you don't take care, you pee on yourself. And when the cross examination is going on, you'll be bringing all sorts of answers. You'll be answering all sorts of questions, and later it is scary.
Wow, have you-
Especially when you are the guilty one. Hey, Nathan, please.
Well, have you been to the court before?
Oh, as for the court, I've been there, but not in the dock.
But you've witnessed a few things.
Oh, I've dealt with a few cases here and there. As plaintiff and as defendant, yeah, I've been in court a couple of times to deal with matters Land matters. Land matters.
So you have experience.
Business matters. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So me I have experience. But later, when they
as the defendant or as the plaintiff, sometimes.
Second defendant.
Hey.
So the first defendant had to go and answer questions. Mm-hmm. Fortunately for me, I wasn't called into the dock. Later, it's not a joke. Even when the lawyers are preparing you, based on your own statement you wrote, your own witness statement, even sometimes you even forget the things. You know the facts, because it's your facts you put in your witness statement. But sometimes, later, because of the fear, you even forget some of the answers you wrote on the paper. So you see, I don't wish that for anybody. Especially when you are the guilty party in a contempt case. Hey, Nathan, I beg you, they should do the right thing.
Okay.
Since they want to do it, they should do it well.
I see. So which means that they need to be very, very careful.
Oh, Nathan, they shouldn't play. They shouldn't play with the courts. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't play with the courts at all, or else.
Nathan, if they joke,
they go fit chop hot.
Fire go burn them.
I see. All right. So that is that in terms of Hearts of Oak supporter issues and all. We'll be on the lookout for the new date. But the new Ghana Premier League season starts today. Hearts of Oak, away from all the supporter episodes, they start the new season tonight. Okay? They start off the new season tonight. Hearts of Oak will take on Hohwe United at the Accra Sports Stadium. The president will be there, John Dramani Mahama, and I'm sure he will do the ceremonial kickoff to get the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League campaign underway. It's a brand new league campaign. I'm sure Hearts of Oak will have their own plans, what it is they want to achieve this season. We saw them in pre-season. We saw what they did. Did really well in the top four. Yes, they didn't win, but came really close. And then we saw them play out some very interesting results under Didi Dramani. And now the dress rehearsal is done. It's the main show now.
The business end.
Yeah, it's the main show.
Yeah.
And they start off tonight against Hohwe United. But Hearts have a problem on their hand. They failed to win any of their last 4 Ghana Premier League season openers.
Yes.
They've lost 3. Last season, they lost to Basake Holy Stars.
Sporty FM.
So they've lost 3. In the last 4 years, they've lost 3 of their openers and drawn 1. So they haven't won their last 4.
So the tradition continues.
Oh.
You know, I told you that they'll lose to Hohwe United.
Yeah, you said it earlier.
Yeah.
Can you explain why and how it will happen?
Hearts of Oak are rebuilding from their disastrous campaign under our good friend, who is now an administrator at the club.
Yes.
Mr. Watara.
Yes.
And so Didi Dramani has come in and has had to figure out how to get this team to play in a certain way. Okay. Be comfortable with the ball, possess a bit more, be more decisive, be a bit clinical up front. He's trying to get the players to understand all of these things off season.
Yeah.
Okay. As to whether he's had enough time to get them or to put them into the mood of a well-functioning machine, a well-oiled machine, I don't think he's been able to achieve that in this very short time. So this game comes a bit early for them. And against a team that, they come up against a team that clearly swept aside almost every opponent in Division 1. And Nathan, you see, Division 1 and the Premier League, there's just a very thin line between Division 1 and the Premier League. You look at Division 1 last season, a club called Golden Cake eliminated Hearts of Oak from the FA Cup.
Yeah.
That club golden kick were in the finals against Kotoko. But for dubious officiating, they possibly could have won the FA Cup. But for dubious officiating.
That's a tad too strong.
For criminal officiating.
No, not criminal officiating. Controversial refereeing decisions.
Nathan, you want to use English to cover it? Okay, no problem. Let's go. Now, even golden kick were not the best team in Zone 3.
Yeah.
Okay. It was Hoho United, it was Port City. They were the teams that were the two front runners.
Yes.
Now you look at Hoho United. They've kept the core of their players. Kept the core of their technical team. Okay. Brought in a bit more experience in terms of recruitment, added a bit more quality. But it hasn't altered the style, hasn't altered the shape. And they are very confident when they go on away travel. When Hoho United travel, later, they travel with a huge entourage. And they cheer their team from start to finish. Performance-wise, Hoho United are one of the best teams to watch in terms of how they play. Their transitions, their confidence, their flair, their killer instinct up front. Of course, the Premier League would have its own challenges.
Yep.
But not in this opener against House of Oak.
You don't think they will?
There are match venues they'll travel to and struggle, but not at the Accra Sports Stadium, which almost seems like a neutral ground for anybody. They can express themselves against House of Oak, and they'll be fearless going into the game against House of Oak, and that could be that fearlessness could be the reason why they'll be able to beat House of Oak today, coupled with the quality they have in their squad. I think that House of Oak will be ready. House of Oak will come good in the course of the season. Okay. You give them at least 7 games between now and match day 7. House of Oak should figure out what they want to do this season. And from match day 8 onwards, we can see them properly look like a team that can challenge for the title. That is if those ahead are not long gone. But otherwise, they would come good in the course of the season. But right from the off, knowing their history against newly promoted sides, or knowing their history in their last 4 openers, season openers, and where they are coming from, Ouattara, Dramani, chopping and changing, starting all over, Hoho United would start slightly as favourites because of consistency.
Sporty FM.
Yeah, but this is the big time. This is the big time.
Did it look like Hoho United were your typical Division 1 team last season? Did it look like your typical Division 1 team?
Well, they did really well.
Play.
They were really good.
Yeah.
72 points. They got 72 points from the 30 games.
They won all their home games.
They played 123, drawn 3, lost 4.
Yeah.
Got 27 points on the road.
Yeah.
So which means that they travel very well.
Yes. They're a very good side. And you see, they did not look like a Division 1 side last season. And these days, the Ghana Premier League, the players, most of the clubs sign, most of them come from Division 1. They sign a lot of Division 1 players. Okay. A lot of Division 1 players, a lot of young talents later across. So it's not as if they are coming to play a Hearts of Oak team that has very established Premier League players who have 4, 5, 6 years Premier League experience.
Sporty FM.
But they've added.
And have possibly reached the peak of their careers.
But they've added to their team.
And I'm saying they're almost going to start at the same level.
Yeah. But the preseason should count for something, Ray.
However, United have been doing their preseason as well. Maybe they do not feature in the President's Cup. Maybe they do not feature in the top 4. Maybe they do not feature in the Bese Manche Cup. Maybe they did not feature in the Democracy Cup. They didn't feature in all of those games. But on the quiet, they've had a very excellent preseason.
Fair point.
And so, listen, you are going to see a battle this evening.
Well, it's match day 1.
Hoho United, if they don't beat us, do not live with a defeat.
Okay. You know what? let me go to the line, right? Abigail Senas has joined us. I'll come to Abigail in a bit. But let me speak with Yusuf Uthman. Yusuf Uthman is the PRO of Hohoe United. Mm-hmm. Let's get his thoughts on their opening day, right? I say it's their day in the sun. Their very first day of duty, reporting to duty of the Ghana Premier League. They have to face Hearts of Oak at the Accra Sports Stadium. Yusuf, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Sporty Breakfast.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
How are you doing, and how is the team? Tonight is showtime.
Well, I'm doing great, and the team is doing fine ahead of our historic bow in the Ghana Premier League as Hohoe United, and we are all in anticipation of the big day. The players, the technical team, everybody associated with the club is in anticipation, and we know and we are certain that we'll give a very good account of ourselves this evening at the Accra Sports Stadium, Nathan.
As you get ready for this game, I mean, you just said that you will give a good account of yourselves. Are you under pressure? Are you feeling any pressure, nerves, all of that ahead of this? Because I guess everybody would love to play first, but not a lot of people would love to be playing one of the most established teams in Ghana football on opening nights under the lights at the stadium. You face Accra Hearts of Oak tonight. Are there any nerves? Are there any jitters? How are the players feeling, or what are they saying ahead of this very important start to the season?
Well, Nathan, it's all excitement. The players, talking to them, you can sense that it will be a moment of pride for them, being the players involved in the very, very opening match of the season, and it has come against the oldest, club, so long as the Ghana Premier League is concerned, and they feel that this sort of games are the games that make you as a player, that will bring you into the limelight as a player, because it doesn't come any bigger than playing Accra Hearts of Oak at the Accra Sports Stadium on a Friday night when the president of the land would be in attendance, and all the eyeballs would be watching on TV and all that. So I don't sense any pressure at all. Whenever I talk to the players in the build-up to this game, I feel they are ready, and everybody who will be selected on that team sheet today would be ready to deliver for Hohoe United.
FM, the voice of sports.
How have you been getting ready for the new season? You had a brilliant Division 1 campaign. You qualified. In between then and now, how has preseason been? What exactly were you up to in preseason?
Well, in preseason has been good. We did the preseason in 3 phases. We started the preseason in Aflao. Then in between Aflao and Togo, we played a couple of friendly games. Then we brought the second phase of the preseason to Accra, where we played about 5 Premier League and Division 1 teams. Then we finally moved back to Hohoe in the final week and the final phase of preseason to prepare for Accra Hearts of Oak and to tell our people that, yes, indeed, we are ready for the task ahead. So we've had about 7 to 8 weeks of good preparation, both in and out of Accra. We've done a part in Hohoe, like I said. We've done a few under the lights just to make the players have a feel of how football would be under floodlights, and so on and so forth. So generally, preseason has been good. Preparations have been fine, and every player, as we speak, is ready to be called upon to defend the badge of Hohoe United.
For a lot of fans who will be there tonight, it will be their very first time seeing Hohoe United play today. If somebody what should fans expect from from the team? What kind of football should people expect whenever they turn up to watch Hohoe United play? And who are some of the standout players people should be on the lookout for between tonight and the end of the season?
Well, for people who troop into the Accra Sports Stadium tonight, I think they should expect nothing but good football. I've personally watched the Artifolk team in preseason, and I think they are also playing, some good football. But that is not the sort of football that we are not used to. We as a club believe in player development, and the ultimate gains from player development is the delivery on the pitch, so long as the players are concerned. So we have always believed in playing good football. So for those who have watched us during our 2 years in the Division 1, there are barely days that we didn't play to dominate games. So we like to dominate games because that is our strength. We like to hit clubs, using our flanks and all that. I'm not going to single out names because that would then make our opponents begin to look out for those players. But for everybody who come to the Accra Sports Stadium this evening, the people should expect nothing but the best of performances from Hohoe United Football Club.
Finally, who have you added to your team? Obviously, the kind of weapons you use in Division 1 will not necessarily be the same you use to take on the elite division. So what kind of recruitment has been done to ensure that this team still has the excitement from Division 1, but it is still ready for the big time?
It will largely be the same weapons we use in Division 1, as you put it. That will be the core of the team in the Premier League. Because by far we had the best team in Division 1. I mean, across all three zones, by far we had the best team. So we didn't see the need to tamper with the team that much. But one thing that also played out in our favor is the fact that we didn't play with a bigger squad in Division 1. We started the season with 25 players, ended the season with 25. At the end of the season, 5 players left the squad, leaving 20. So we just needed to add up to the existing 20. That was the core of the team to make up a 33-man Premier League squad. So we haven't tampered with the team that much. Core of them will still be the ones that will mostly get a lot of play time so long as the Ghana Premier League is concerned, because the gap in quality between the Ghana Premier League and the Division 1 league, I don't see it to be that wide, and that is why more often than not you see players bought by Premier League teams from the lower divisions, and they come to blow up the Premier League and take everyone by surprise. So yes, we are maintaining the core of our team. We've added a few experienced players here and there, but they are not just there for experience. We added players we feel have to come and fill positions we short of. We fall short, and that is how strategic we went about the recruitment, and added a few more younger players who will largely be, squad players to show up whenever there are injuries, there are suspensions to some other players. So the squad won't change that much. The few additions that have come are strategic additions that would have to solve problems we identified from last season playing in the Division 1.
All right. Yusuf, we wish you the very best ahead of tonight. It's a big night. Hohoe United taking on Hearts of Oak, the first night of the new Premier League season. Wish you the very, very best, and all the very best ahead of tonight, but ahead of the rest of the campaign.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Yusuf Uthman, PRO or Public Relations Officer of Hohoe United, saying that the football is good. People should come and watch. Ray seems to back them. Abigail Sanasosu is here. Abigail, you were listening to Yusuf there. You saw a lot of Hearts of Oak during the preseason, Ray.
Before you go to get to say that, I have a message here.
What does the message say?
The message says, I hope you know the history of Division 1 promoted teams that attempt to upset House of Oak in the season open.
Okay.
So in 2007, Hazakers beat House of Oak. They got relegated. But for Akwatano did same in 2023. They got relegated. Basake Holy Stars also did same.
But they didn't get.
Yeah, they didn't get relegated.
Yes.
So that's a history. If you beat House of Oak in the opener,
You'll be fine. Nothing will happen to you. Abigail, Hearts of Oak. I think we should start from this very funny history they have with newly promoted teams.
Yeah.
Especially when they have to begin with newly promoted teams, right? Hearts have not won their last 4 openers. They've drawn 1. They've lost 3. One of those losses was to Basake Holy Stars from last season. Can they buck the trend tonight?
Well, Nathan, thank you. But then have we also looked at the other side where on openings like this or with newly promoted sides taking on Hearts of Oak at home in their first games?
Hearts of Oak at home?
Yeah, at home.
Okay.
They also, Hearts of Oak also does get results against Vision when they came in. They got the results against Young Apostles. They did get that result as well. So there's sides to it.
Okay.
They do lose some, but at home they also do get results sometimes. But I feel that this season will be quite different because, like you mentioned, Masudi Dramani should be that different. I spoke to Ouattara away in Ivory Coast, and he mentioned a number of things about this Hearts of Oak team, and I was happy he considered almost immediately and was full of praise for Didi Dramani. Of course, he himself as a technical person has seen the changes, even in the attitude of players, the energies they go into games with. Evidence in the top 4 that they almost won, or in their minds they won. So,
if we're not for the mathematics.
Yes, in their minds they won. So for them they have top 4. You know, he attested the fact that I remember in the Homo World Cup when I saw Frank Eduku, I asked questions. I'm like, is he the answer to that question as the book I've been asking last season? We watched them play,
scoring problems,
getting all the chances and not being able to score, but his presence, like the young man is like he was living to play for Hearts of Oak. When you see him, he looks very ready for that role. So I was asking that, could he be the answer? And preseason is nothing that you can really bet on, you know. Some do have good preseasons and match day proper, they mess it up. But he has not flattered to deceive thus far. I think that after the World Cup, he continued in that form in top 4. And you saw that given the chance, he'll be able to at least get some goals to assist Mauli Wayo and Hamza up front. They've been the ones holding the fort for Hearts of Oak in times that it has not really gone on. Maybe Frank Eduku, with time and form and the same focus he started with, if he does continue, just maybe he can help them get those results. So it's looking good, at least from what Didi Dramani has presented with those drone trainings and all of that, you know. At least he gets the results. So people are not really talking about that. I pray when things don't really go well, they don't go back to the road. You know how the book.
They won't do that.
They don't know. So it's looking good, like I said. Right from preseason and with the recruitment they have done, this is one season that there was nothing controversial about any signing anywhere, you know. But I think the clubs have done some decent job. Solomon Agbasi coming on board at Hearts of Oak is a huge one. Agbasi should have done that last season, but for injury, he had to stay at home, couldn't even travel, because in the midst of Hearts of Oak wanting him last season, he was to travel, and at the same time he had that injury. But on a good day, he has never given false hopes. He's been a very good goalkeeper. Look at what he did with Dreams on the African continent. So it's good that at least when Benjamin Asare is out on national team duty, which is looking like it will be it will be coming every other time with this.
But won't the league be on pause? So how much game time?
That, yes, he would. With that in mind, at least there'll be someone equally good to hold the fort when he has to rest. Because yes, there'll be league. They'll also partake in FA Cup as well.
Okay.
You know.
Fair.
I'm just saying that with all of that weight on Benjamin Asare, now there's someone. I'm sure a lot of Hearts fans will be confident that even if Asare is not around, there's that equal talent or equal person to fit in for Benjamin Asare. So it's good if he has that backup, and it also make him know that okay, there's somebody who's been to Africa and done good. So if I don't also back up, he could also take my place. So I think there's fair competition in the team now. Even in that defense, when it's a bit think maybe he's taking over. Baba Madu also from Golden Cakes has joined, and from that final with Kotoko, whoever went for him was a good buy, and it's good Hartlepool did so as well. And Hartlepool in the last 2-3 seasons have always gone for the best defenders across.
So there's him, there's Sibe, there's who else?
Ali, yes. Yeah. He tried. I think he tried the three of them in that 3-back system. He looks like he will be playing in the Homo Cup. It was not. It was not bad. It was not bad. Even the top for the first game, he tried the back three, then he quickly reverted to the back four. So he's sport for choice. I think that it depends on how the work could take care of these players. We've seen a lot of names go throughout the work, but if you don't take care of these players and they begin to feel uncomfortable, some of these results will not come. And that is one thing Kotoko has over every other club in this country. For that one, is a fact. They know how to take care of their players. That is why the fans will tell you these players are being over-pampered. Because, hey, who will give you such flats and give, like... It is rare, you know, and so I believe that
Ray, why are you laughing?
And
why are you laughing?
All of this, they also have some now, but Kotoko have said that piece. That one day, let's just keep it at that. You know,
I said Kotoko, I just remembered a few things. You know what I remember?
You.
So I think that we are in for a good season. We are waiting for the person who scored the first goal. Prince Shinoba did that in the last season against Hearts of Oak.
Holy Stars, stunning Hearts of Oak.
Yes, so we are waiting.
I will say though about Hearts is this: I watched them play a couple of times. I noticed their midfield had problems last season. It looks like they are thinking about it, right? Especially in the central. Well, let's say they attack it because they've added Prince Kwabena Owusu from Gold Stars. I think it's a very good addition. I want to see how Didi Dramani integrates Martin Kakari. The last time I saw Martin Kakari play was in the top 4 against Crawford. He looked no, wasn't the game they drew with Lions? I think it must have been with Lions. He looked okay. He looked more comfortable than when they played the Super 2 or the Super Clash at the stadium under Ouattara. I don't know what has changed. Yeah. So it's one player I'm looking out for this season. Let's see what he does. But Hearts will have to start well. Yeah. Because this history of not winning their last 4 openers, it cannot go on into a 5th season. It will not be good. And it just plays on new pressure.
From the backdrop of the kind of preseason games they've won and all of that, if they don't, then it means that they are preseason champions. And no, from everything that you have done, if you cannot win your first game, then it means that you are flattening all of us.
Oh, but it's just one game. You see, they have to start well.
It's crucial how you start. Nathan, this season, what I've also noticed is all the clubs just do not want to participate. Because if you go through some of the signings that were done, there's a set target, you know, for every other person. You get it. And so if you don't start well and at home, if you don't get the points at home, where do you want to get the points?
So you're saying that starting well is important.
Very important.
Any bad result
clearly
can have an impact on the season.
For Kotoko Chelsea tomorrow, it will be a big one because the last 5 times that Kotoko has traveled to Bekum on openings, they've never gotten the results. 3 draws, 2 defeats. So this match they won is very, very crucial for these big boys who really want to get the result and possibly, as every other season, be in the gunning for the league. So if you don't get it right, it will be very difficult. And the energies with which Hartlepool fans have gone through this preseason, for them to start at the stadium, no. I don't think Masudi Dramani wants that noise this early. For all United, I'm not saying that whatever they have done is wrong or we want to downplay whatever they've done, but I don't think they'll get a lot of bashing if they lose on match day one.
Yeah.
No. If you are traveling, if you don't get the result, fair enough. But for us to book at home with all that they have done, it will be suicidal.
Why people trying to worry Accra to vote that they have to win match day one?
Because they are one of the two big clubs.
So they have
if you are not winning, then what are you doing?
It's okay. If they don't win, it's fine.
Look at the pedigree of your manager.
True, that I agree. I think everything they've done puts them in this corner where they need to get a result tonight. Right? One, just to get the monkey off their back that they've not won their last 4 openers. Yeah. But it creates, you see, the way Hearts of Oaks, the environment around them is okay for now, but it feels a little fragile. And I get the sense one bad result almost destroys everything. Right? And fans will now, all of a sudden, you start to pile on the team. Pressure on Didi, pressure on the players. And every game now becomes like a must win.
Yeah. You know, Nathan, I think that Hearts of Oak genuinely will struggle first 5 to 7 games.
How so?
Because of the new changes.
The new changes.
Okay. Personnel, coach, a bit of everything will feel new. And the players would have to build confidence as the season progresses. Get to properly understand the coach and how he wants them to play in-game. So this is where the real in-game management comes in. All the competitions they may have won, preseason champions, as I now call them. It was preseason.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs would sandbag just to figure out, their opponents and then, protect their legs and all. Okay. So you may not get a lot of the teams they came up with playing at that level. Now you get into a very competitive game where 3 points are at stake. And your quest to survive in the league starts now. It adds a bit of pressure. The players will now have to build confidence, build momentum, all of that. They have a very good coach who can see them through. A very good coach indeed. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. The early jitters would get to them a bit. The early pressure would get to them a bit. There will be a bit of jitters here and there. They would struggle a bit. They would have some difficult games. But when they settle, they'll be very difficult to beat. That's what I'm saying. The fans have to be patient. Because obviously, they would have better times under Didi than they had under Ouattara. As for that one, I can assure them. Coco Tinko football, don't see it again. You understand? And so, whatever happens against Hearts of Lions, against Hoho United today, if they lose, no pressure. They would come good as the season progresses. Definitely. And we know the Ghana Premier League.
You are saying so until the result happens.
No, we know the Ghana Premier League.
Until
teams are not able to go on a very long winning run and even open a very wide gap at the top. A game or two, you are up there. One defeat, one draw, you are down there. It's always like that. And that's what I'm saying. They may not start particularly in the best of ways, based on what I've seen. But they will come good as the season progresses.
Well, let's run through Hearts of Oak's first few games. Hoho United at home. Then they travel to Dreams, match day 2, Charlie. Then they play 11 Wonders, match day 3. Match day 4, Hearts of Oak are at Bechem. And then match day 5, yes, they play as Asante Kotoko. Is that Super 2? Yes, they host Kotoko. So Hearts' first 5 games are very complex games.
See?
They have all kinds of undertones.
And they would have to use that to get the players to understand the demands of the club and demands of the Premier League.
You're playing Kotoko match day 5.
The more reason you can't lose match day 1.
Yeah,
so starting well is important.
Very important.
Okay, so
but they'll struggle,
But that I find a little difficult to understand, because if you see the crowd that they were able to pull for the top 4 tournament, clearly I feel the boys have understanding of the people.
I'm more inclined to you than Ray on this one. I think Hearts will get a win tonight.
At least they know the kind of
you can talk about going to Dreams.
Yeah, that they've always struggled
yes,
to get results.
traveling to Bechem.
Yeah,
That I
those
can,
two they've never. got
that I can
results.
agree with.
Yes.
I think Hearts will eke out a result tonight.
But it won't be easy.
It will not. It won't be now and then.
That also has to be stated because I don't think Oho United are also they've been in Accra like 3-4 days ago, so they are equally looking forward to this game, and I don't think that Tijani is ready to lose this game. Remember, he's been without the book before.
Oh,
They're manager now.
Yes,
he's been with House of Gold, Great Olympics, Baseke and all of that. So this is not like a new manager to the team, and coaches that have come back to play without a book have always.
You
been
always
trouble.
seem to have it in for them. Yes.
They always know something about the club that they always find a way around it. So it wouldn't be easy like that.
Okay.
But I think that House of Book need to get that result to put them in a very good moment. I was asking myself that this is a season that top 4. I mean, the Super Clash has come early. And
Match day 5.
Yeah, and so from now up until match day 5, it will be more like you are building towards it. So you slip, and your fans begin to ask questions. How are you going to this game if you are not getting it? And I don't think Didi Dramani will want to lose to Zito again. I mean, this is early.
No.
Not this early.
Not this early. For Hohe United, though, Ray, they start off against Hearts, as you said, obviously. Then they face Young Apostles in Hohe. Then they travel to Vision, match day 3. Then they are back home against Karela. And then match day 5, they are on the road to Nations.
Interesting 5 games.
Yeah. So even though the matches may look relatively more manageable, they are playing teams that can be quite tricky. So they go to Hearts tonight, and then they are at home against Young Apostles. That is a game they should mark and say, okay, maybe their season starts from there. Young Apostles had a scare of their life last season. They survived. I don't know how they want to begin this new season. Then Hohe travel again to Vision, which will not be easy.
No.
Not at all. Vision ended last season on a high. They want to continue.
Vision at home have cemented some form of play. There's a way they do things just in tema. How they managed to get that draw against Hartlepool, and then on the last day beat Kotoko. It was something else. They are beasts at home for that one.
And then
actually slag it out.
Yeah, and then Hohe come back to play Karela, match day 4. I'll keep an eye out on that one. I'd like to see what Karela will give us this season. Last season they almost went away.
Yeah.
And then Nations. So Hohe, match day 5, they travel to Nations. That one, tricky one there. So those are, at least in terms of fixtures for Hohe United. Let's talk about Asante Kotoko. They start off at Brecum Chelsea, and we've seen the stories around Kotoko, right? They didn't do well in the top 4 at all. It was a very poor showing. There was pressure on them. Then they managed to win the champion of champions, so almost like quieting the storm. But they traveled to Brecum Chelsea, and then we've heard Safuduku talk about they are taking players' phones from them to prevent Ray. Now they say they want to kill, yeah.
And so does it mean that when they go into camp 2-3 days before matches, they don't do that?
No. They said they'll take the phones before, like a day to the match.
And so I'm asking that, so hitherto they don't do that?
No.
From what they are saying, it stands to reason that they didn't.
Because you have to be chatting with
I
your
know.
girlfriends and things.
Okay.
You are chatting with
Some
your
clubs-
girlfriend.
Some do that.
They'll take your phone like 2-3 days to games.
Normally a day to the game.
Yeah, so they are
but
implementing.
I thought they well.
No, but I see.
With
Yeah,
all the
they're
things,
mature,
with all the
man.
things we've heard,
These are players who need talking to. Okay.
they need talking
You
to.
talk to them. There are
You
some
don't
things
take their phones from them.
If this current generation of players, when you try to do too much headmaster, they try to rebel in other ways.
But you have to lay
they
down
show
the
their
law.
displeasure in other ways. No, of
But
course
you have to lay down the law.
Nathan, you lay down the law, yes, but there's a way to go about it. Nathan, Nathan, when they take this phone from you the whole day today,
So the
You'll
whole week you have
be
a
fine.
game. So if you take your phone for how many hours?
But the fact that I'm on the phone doing things doesn't mean I can't go and perform on match day.
The players don't
and
sleep.
over time, it has shown that because of that,
You can
they
take
don't
the phone
even
and
sleep
still
to
won't
be
sleep.
well rested.
You can take the phone and still I won't sleep.
So what will you be doing?
I'll be watching things on my laptop. Or do you take
Okay, it looks like they should take everything.
No, but because Nathan, this one it won't work.
Good.
This one it won't work.
Ray, I think they know their situation. Maybe this fits their situation.
They should stop the boys from bringing girls into the rooms.
That's
And
the
stop
thing.
pulling the shisha.
No.
But maybe they're trying to kill the syndicate.
And that one, how do you also stay with them?
They're trying to kill. See, this is a serious issue. They're trying to kill the
What is
syndicate.
causing the
Maybe watch
problem?
Mission Impossible, you know.
What is causing the problem is the shisha and the girls they bring to their rooms. That is the problem. Me, I didn't say it.
the girls, they should stop going in.
It was
girls, they
our
stop
brother.
going in.
What is the name of our brother? The one who's gone to America.
Blay.
Justice Blay, captain of the side. Captain said the boys. They collect people's girls and they're smoking shisha.
Yeah, so that's the syndicate because we're trying to smash now.
So deal with that behavior.
So part of it is the phone.
Oh, Nathan. Me, I didn't
Now
hear
you don't
Justice
even
Blay
know
talk
all
about
the
phone in this
person.
one.
Yeah, hey, so we are taking your phone away.
Then the shisha too. The shisha pot.
You call people to bring it.
Ray, players do not go into team camps with shisha pots in their things. So clearly buy them. They buy them from somewhere.
So they'll buy it.
If you go to the shops,
They'll
you
be
find.
pulling it.
So you ban or maybe they are banning all those things, but they haven't told us.
That is the thing. That is the thing they have to be stopping. You see, those are the things they have to stop around the club.
Abigail makes a very good point about Kotoko taking care of their players. So you see, it's high time the club also now intervened to ensure that when they create a good environment, the players don't add certain things to it. That's why taking of phones is key. But you asked a critical question earlier. It was Kelvin. What if they have two phones?
Oh, they always do apps. Most of them do apps.
So they hide the second phone. Hey, that's just it. We have to do secondary school level inspection.
That is what you shouldn't do to football players at this level.
So we should allow them.
Allow them. Nathan, look, if you're a professional
Ray.
footballer, so
No,
like
but
Benjamin Asari.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Asari, with the opportunity that he has at this point,
Yes.
you think he would want to miss out on going to the World Cup and want to do all sorts of things? For the players, by this time, you should be thinking of the fact that there's a possible World Cup qualification on the horizon. I want to be one of the players who Tuadu will consider for the tournament. So let me go out there and perform in the Ghana Premier League. That's motivation. There's example, there's testimony that, look, if you do well, they'll call you Benjamin Asari or Simpson.
Okay. So you say that
look,
everything that is
so
happening
if you want to
around
be playing with your phone,
Ghana football should motivate the
of
players.
course. So if you want to be playing with your phone, you won't sleep. Go and
Unfortunately,
play,
it
deliver
doesn't
Zuku
motivate
performances.
some people.
Exactamente.
There are people who let's leave me alone. You call me. There are some people like that.
No, but I'm saying that, look, professional
Wait, so the
players
stubborn
at this
ones
level-
take their phones.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan.
But
leave them.
how would you find that?
Nathan, leave them. Because you see, normally, Nathan, I don't lie to you. When we were in boarding school,
Yeah.
that monitoring we didn't like. That is why Kofi Adams will be beating us every day. But so
Many years on, you
that
met
one,
him again.
that one we didn't like.
Yes.
You see, we
Of
didn't
course,
like.
boys won't like
we
that.
didn't like that.
You are-
whole
you see,
managing-
you are teenagers.
Bring your phones. No,
You are
no, we didn't
teenagers.
like
You
it.
are at a rebellious stage. It's fine.
Yes.
But you are adults now.
You're professional.
You are a professional footballer. Behave
And the
yourself.
professional footballer feels you shouldn't treat him like a kid.
So we should allow you to have your phone. Stay on the phone. 1 a.m.
I'm
2
not a
a.m.
professional.
TikTok, Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook, chat.
Yeah.
TikTok live.
TikTok live
Yes.
and things.
Yeah.
And you won't perform. And you want to earn a salary. And
I
when
think
clubs sack
even
you,
if
you
do
complain.
all of those things, then you perform. No problem.
But the point is, you see,
So,
I don't
so
think
we'll do
most
all of that
them-
and perform.
perform and
It doesn't happen.
let me go to the line.
It's
Mo,
only the shisha.
and the syndicate. It's the syndicate that is the problem. We will deal with the syndicate. Let's speak with Mo Shabbat. Mo, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Nathan.
Great stuff. Mo Shaban is a statistician and a key follower of the Ghana Premier League. We are talking about Asante Kotoko. They are traveling to Brekum, Chelsea. Aside all the side issues of the management wanting to take players' phones and all of that. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Let's talk about the game in question. There's a history to this. Asante Kotoko's recent trips to Brekum have not yielded too much, and they start this weekend going to Brekum once again. From a numbers perspective, how can Kotoko overcome this poor run? How can they get something from this game? And the same question for Brekum Chelsea. What can they do to start the season with 3 points maximum?
Well, you look at both sides. I would say that Samoa would have a lot of questions to answer tomorrow. And for Abdul Karim Zito, he's shown that he's a trophy-oriented coach, and so he took over from Asante Kotoko. He had few games. He won the FA Cup in 2 matches. He went ahead to win the Toyota Cup in South Africa. He also managed some victories. And champion of champions, he won against the Beauty Ghosts. And of course, becoming the first coach in 2 seasons, in 3 seasons, to win the champion of champions as an MTN FA Cup winner. Because if you look at the history in the past few years, the winner of the league always have the dominance over the winner of the MTN FA Cup. And so last season, Samatex won the champion of champions, who they were champions of the league as well. And they won it against Usatraman, who won the FA Cup. Last 2 seasons, Medama won against Juventus, who were MTN FA Cup champions. And so he's got some history and numbers to also protect this time. But the big challenge, you've mentioned it, in 5 seasons, the best result for Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Golden City Park is a draw game. And so we go back as far as 2020-21 season at the Golden City Park, the results ended in a draw 1-1 for Kotoko and also Brekum Chelsea. In 2021-22, it ended 0-0 at the Golden City Park. In 2022-23, it ended 3-0 at the Golden City Park in favor of Brekum Chelsea. 2023-24, Brekum Chelsea won 2-1. And then last season, the result was 1-1 at the James Venue. So Kotoko winning the game at the Golden City Park is becoming something that it's not possible for them. It becomes impossible because clearly it's time and time again that even with good form, they struggle to beat Brekum Chelsea. If you go back to when Kotoko won the league in the 2021-22 season, they still drew goalless draw against Brekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park. Now, you look at the current Brekum Chelsea setup, it looks like a lot of players have left the side. For example, Hubert Joe from the midfield, he has signed for Kotoko. Zakaria Pufeni is a centre-back and the captain of the side. He has also signed for Kotoko. Their goalkeeper, Obinseche Gregory, has also signed for Medama SC. And Isaac Epiye, one of their strikers, have also signed for Medama. So the core of the team, 4 starters of the side will not be available. But trust me, they've managed to assemble some good sides. They went to Park Academy, found Shaibu Faisal. They have Sapon Emmanuel, who at a point was expected to sign for us before. You go to their midfield, Prince Anani in the midfield. You have Vincent Kulu again, and 17-year-old defensive midfielder, Kwesi Sorotu Baduni, who would be part of the squad in the midfield. And I am looking at how the midfield battle between Kotoko and Brekum Chelsea would be, because the signing of Walid Husseini added something to the midfield of Kotoko, especially the attacking midfield, where the coach always make emphasis that Kotoko create chances, but then they have to create more chances, because when Emmanuel Entry, Lord Hilary Adabo, defensive midfielder, Philip Amu were playing, they were possessing the ball to goals, but creating of chances and then locating the strikers, Morifin Donsu, Albert Samoa, Kwame Poku, Saka Dauda from the flank was something that was a challenge for the side. But in the current squad, you have Walid Husseini, Emmanuel Inti as the attacking midfielders. You have Rodri Lariadabo and you have Philip Amu also being part of the central midfield, and that would give them the flair to dominate against the Chelsea. But of course, Vincent Kuteje, Kwesi Solo Tubaduri, Prince Anani in the midfield for the Chelsea against Kumasa Asante Kotoko is going to be something to watch out for. And for the Chelsea defense, you already have before Bedu, Benjamin Abedu also available. I'm sure they are going to use Eric Oporienti, who has also signed for them. Obviously, Japan is a former Kotoko right back. He is also signed for the Chelsea. And for Kotoko, I am looking at how Abdul Karim Gito is going to assemble his back four, because Musa Hamzata in the Champion of Champions was extraordinary. Aside him, you have Samba Unel as a centre back. You have Zakaria Futeni as a centre back. For the wing back, we know that it is going to be Patrick Etienne from the left side, and then Shaibu Abubakar, who signed from Kerala United, as the right back. So the wing backs are set to go. But I am looking at how Coach Karim Vito is going to assemble his back, the two backs. That is either Musa Hamzata, Samba Unel, and Zakaria Futini. I'm sure he's going to look at getting two of these players to start for them. Now, let's look at the chances of both sides.
Mm-hmm.
The chances of Kotoko coming all out, winning the league, making impact. Let me take you back to 1993. In 1993, Kumasi Asante Kotoko were crowned champions of the Premier League. In 1994, 95, 96, Ashanti Gold won the Premier League in 3 consecutive seasons and becoming a side which is not hard and Kotoko, but then making dominance in the Premier League. And it doesn't really happen. Okay. Where a side who is not a hard to cook or Kotoko winning the league back to back to back. Then in 1997, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2003, hard to cook won the Premier League, dominated the Premier League. Kotoko came back in 1993 to win the Ghana Premier League. And look at the years. It took them 9 seasons to return back in winning the Premier League. Now, the last time Kotoko won the Premier League in recent years was in 2021-22 under Dr. Postponed Ogun. And the expectation is that after 3 seasons, they expect Coach Abdul Karim Gito to win the Premier League. Now, in 3 consecutive seasons, the league has remained in the western side, where Medama, Samatek, Gold Stars, and the recent one is the Gold Stars being able to win the Premier League. And so, a lot of pressure on Abdul Karim Gito to prove dominance in the Premier League. Of course, though Kotoko have gone 9 seasons years ago without the Premier League, I'm not sure their fans would wait for Kotoko to give them those number of years in winning the Premier League, and that puts a lot of pressure on the Porcupines.
Wow, it looks like it's a tough start for Asante Kotoko. They will have to respond to history, but they will also have to respond to the pressure of a big team, I guess. Finally, Mo, before I let you go, which other give us one other standout game from the opening weekend of the Premier League, in your opinion?
It's hard to Kotoko United.
Okay.
It's a live game. It's also the first game of the season. And let me take you back to record. When Hartlepool finished in the top 4 last season with 58 points, the fan says Abubakar Watara has not done anything. Now, he finished in the top 4, amassing 58 points. Now, Coach Samuel Bodu won the league with Hartlepool in the 2020-21 season with a total of 61 points. And that is 3 points difference between points winning the league, points finishing in the top 4, in the 4th place. And so now, Coach Masudi Dramani won the league for Kotoko twice in 2011, 2012, 2012, 2013. Then 2013, 2014, Kotoko went ahead to win the league without Masudi Dramani. Then in 2015, Asante Gold won the league. Now, if you look at the years Masudi Dramani won the league with Asante Kotoko, comparing it to this time, and if you look at the points Ouattara amassed as How to Cook head coach, and for the fans' points as one of their worst coach, then if someone would won the league with 61 points, taking over, playing just 18 matches, then for Coach Didi Dramani, he needs to amass about 65 points to convince the House of Folk fans that indeed he is one of the best captains. Now, if you're able to amass 65 points, then automatically you are 98% a Premier League winner. And that is what the record says. That if you're able to amass 65 points, then you are a Premier League winner. And that is where the pressure will start piling on her to pull. Now, let me take you to the points amassed as champion. Gold Stars had 63 points as champion. Last 2 seasons, Samatex also had 61 points as champion. Last 3 seasons, Medama had 60 points as champion. Last 4 seasons, Crawford had 61 points as champions. So it means that when you have 60 points, you are likely to win the league. If you have 60 plus points, you're automatically a league winner. And per the points that is expected to be amassed by Masudi Dramani, then automatically he should be winning the Premier League with How to Folk. Now, let's look at How to Folk's last 5 match day 1 fixtures. How to Folk are winless in their last 5 match day 1 league. From 2020-21, they were expected to play their match day 1 against Indiana. And I remember that year, there was a COVID issue, and so How to Folk went ahead to play their match day 2, where they drew against Ashanti Road. The following season, they lost again, and then in 2021-22, they drew against the Gone Cities. In 2022-23, they lost to Indiana, and then last season was against a debutant. They lost 1-0 at Accra Sports against Basket Olympics. Take note, How to Folk's last match day 1 game was against a debutant, just like Crawford United. They lost by a goal to nil. However, we have 2 debutants. One of the debutants in last season when How to Folk lost to them was from Zone 2. Then the next debutant, Crawford United, are from Zone 3. That is the difference. Now, let's look at Masudi Dramani as the How to Folk head coach. In all the matches played as How to Folk head coach, Masudi Dramani has scored a goal. In the last 6 matches as How to Folk coach, in a competitive game, they have scored in each of the games. Starting from their game against Kotoko in the President's Cup, they lost 2 and How to Folk scored 1. Then their next game was in the Homo Peace Cup against Heart of Lions. They scored a goal. They won by 2 goals to nil. Coming into the top 4, they scored Heart of Lions 1-0, drew 2-2 to Gold Stars, and then also won 2-0 against Kotoko. Then again in the Democratic Cup, they won 1-0 against Accra Great Olympics. So per statistics, House of Folk have kept 4 clean sheets, and their new head coach, Masudi Dramani, considered in 2 matches and managed to score in each of their matches, scoring 9 goals in each of their matches, and that really gives them an advantage over every opponent they are going to play against. Now, Crawford United will be coming in from Zone 3. Now, let me give you some records around the Zone 3 team and the newly promoted side playing against Hearts of Oak. Now, if you're looking at the records, newly promoted sides playing against Hearts of Oak at home, the last 4, Hearts of Oak have won 3. Hearts of Oak have lost 1. And for the last 4 results between Hearts of Oak and the newly promoted side in the Ghana Premier League, then it means that if Hearts of Oak scores a goal, the opponent will lose the fixture. If the opponent scores a goal, Hearts of Oak will lose the fixture. In the 2023-24 season, the last home game between Hearts of Oak and newly promoted side at home was against Nations FC. Hearts of Oak won 2-0. Last season, Hearts of Oak lost to Batake 1-0, beat Young Apostles 2-0, beat Vision FC 1-0. So look at the pattern. Hearts of Oak last 4 home games against debutants, they've won 3, they've lost 1. They've managed to score in 3 of the matches they won, and they lost in the match they failed to score a goal, and that was the game against a debutant Batake Holy Stars. And so, of course, Hearts of Oak still have the advantage against debutants in the Ghana Premier League in the last 4 fixtures. So, it is going to be a midfield battle. And I'm looking at how it is going to be with Abdul Karim in the midfield for Hearts of Oak as a defensive midfielder, Hussein Mohammed as a midfielder from the left side, then you have George Parku as a midfielder from the right side. You know, Hearts of Oak really prefers to play the 3-back system, allowing their wing backs to join the midfield. The wing backs, Ransford Mensah from the left side and right side, Amankwa Bepi joining the midfield. And so we are going to have 3 midfielders, Abdul Karim, Hussein, George Parku. Then we are going to have Koko United assembling some 3 top-notch midfielders, Kekeli Ato in the midfield, Kojo Buama and Osman Safiano, who had a total of 8 goals for Koko United in the Access Bank Division 1 League. And these midfielders are very creative, especially Osman Safiano, a set-piece expert. And again, you have another very creative midfielder, Kojo Buama, and then a young player who played for Great Olympics last season, Kekeli Ato. And it is going to be fireworks in the midfield. Hearts of Oak will play with the 3-back, Ali Mohammed, Kevin Osei today as a centre-back, Ali Mohammed as a centre-back, and then David Okwafrani as a centre-back. With Benjamin Asari in post for Koko United, it looks like with the goalkeepers they have, Christian Ketia was loaned from Hearts of Oak to Koko United. I'm not sure he's going to start, of course, because if Hearts of Oak loan player to any club, it really becomes difficult allowing the player to play against them. So it looks like Kukumusa from FC Nania, who signed for Koko United, is going to be imposed for them. Courage Gebe from the left side, or Patrick Amate. He signed from Tamale City 2 seasons ago. And so Patrick Amate has got experience. And then from the right back, we are going to see a very young player giving us some great performance for Koko United. And of course, I expect Koko United to defend well. Their coach is a former Hearts of Oak acting head coach, Tijani Abdulrahim Bashiru. He's coached, he's been an assistant coach for Legon Cities. He's coached Legon Cities as well. He's been an assistant coach for Great Olympics and also a former Young Apostles head coach. He knows the in and out of Hearts of Oak.
Okay.
Last season, he was in charge of Young Apostles. He played against Hearts of Oak. He lost by 2-0 at the University of Ghana Stadium. We look at how these 2 teams would fare. I think Hearts of Oak have the advantage, likely to score per their last 2 games under coach Masoud Didi Chamani.
All right, Mo, just quickly, in a minute, I'm going to run each game by you. Just give me who wins or give me a prediction, right? So Hearts of Oak and Hohoe, who wins that?
Hearts of Oak advantage Hearts of Oak.
Okay, Gold Stars and Bechem United.
Gold Stars advantage.
Okay, Brekum Chelsea, Asante Kotoko.
A possible draw or a home win.
Holy Stars, 11 Wonders.
An advantage for Batake Holy Stars.
Okay, Hearts of Lions and Dreams.
It's really a difficult fixture, what I've observed from Dreams FC, but the advantage goes to Heart of Lion.
Okay, Vision and Samatex.
Vision at home are really a difficult side, an advantage for them.
Okay, Young Apostles, Mediama.
Young Apostles, Mediama would have the advantage against Young Apostles.
Okay, Mediama to win on the road. Karela Ediana Stars.
Karela Ediana is difficult fixture. Ediana build a good team, but I give the advantage to Karela. Even to say we should let again, a difficult side for Ediana, yes.
Okay, and finally, Nations FC versus All Blacks.
Nations FC have the advantage over Straight All Blacks.
Okay, we'll match your predictions against the actuals, and we'll see what it will look like after Sunday. Mo, thank you so much for speaking with us. We'll speak again soon. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Mohammed Shaban, statistician and a follower of the Ghana Premier. He's actually a Ghana Premier League statistician, right? And he's a keen follower of the league. You can send in your comments as well. 054-257-1061. The Sporty team's predictions have been released. Come on, man. The Sporty FM's predictions have been announced at the start of the season. I have Asante Kotoko winning the league, and I think they could win. With Gold Stars coming second, Hearts of Oak finishing third, and Nations finishing fourth. So those are my calls for the upcoming season. I don't know what predictions you have, or Abigail. Let me bring in Michael Asai-Bredu. Michael, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm good. How about you?
Yes, we are fine. Is that which kit is this? You're wearing a Nations.
FC.
Nations. I tip Nations to finish in the top 4 at the end of the season. I don't know what your predictions are, but Michael, just your thoughts on the opening weekend of the Premier League. The Premier League is back. The Ghana Premier League is back. We are all excited. The opening weekend sees Hearts of Oak at home and Asante Kotoko traveling to take on Brekum Chelsea in a match whose history is stacked against the Porcupine Warriors. They haven't done well on the road in Brekum in years, and they have to go there on Sunday or Saturday, I believe, this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And it is a venue Kotoko has never won at. Ever since Brekum Chelsea moved from the Sunyani Coronation Park to the Golden City Park, they have never faced Chelsea at Brekum and then emerged victorious. In fact, the last victories for Kotoko against Brekum Chelsea dates as far back as the last one was in January 2010, precisely January 3rd, 2010, when Kotoko beat Brekum Chelsea by a lone goal, and that took place at the Sunyani Coronation Park. Before then, in June 2009, Kotoko once again defeated Brekum Chelsea away from home, and that game also took place at the Sunyani Coronation Park. Now, since then, they are currently on a 13-match winless streak away against Brekum Chelsea, and they've not seen a victory in their away travels to Brekum Chelsea. So clearly, it is a fixture that most Asante Kotoko fans dread. Even for the Kotoko team, whenever they have to travel to Brekum, they know that they have a Herculean task ahead of them, and they basically will have to do a lot to ensure that they leave that venue unscathed. Now, Mo was talking about their historical matchups in terms of recent meetings and all that.
Yeah.
And I would say that maybe the last visit for Kotoko did end well, and that took place on the 29th of September 2024. Kotoko secured a 1-1 draw, but before then, it ended in a 2-1 defeat, 3-0 defeat, and then a 0-0 draw. So clearly, it hasn't been a smooth sailing ground for Asante Kotoko to visit when they have to play Brekum Chelsea. But the reality is that they will still need to prepare for this game. There is a lot at stake, and that is what is set to happen. How does Kotoko fare in their opening fixtures in the league, let's say from 2020-2021 coming? That is when we had to resume and play a full league post-COVID and post the Anas expose. In the opening games that Kotoko have played since then, 2020-2021, they drew 1-1 against 11 Wonders. That was a game that actually gave Ignacio Sesefos to some kind of publicity. He had spoken a lot in the media in Kumasi. He had bragged that he was going to avoid defeat against Asante Kotoko. He came from Kumasi, then he got a job at Techiman. So he needed to prove a point to the Kotoko faithful that he actually is one of the technical brains who could do a job for them. So he spoke at length prior to the game. And truly, his team secured a draw. It was then against Maswa Kunedu's Asante Kotoko. Eventually, it led to the sack of Maswa Kunedu because this game, coupled with other matches, sealed the fate of Maswa Kunedu, and it was booted out. In 2021-2022, Kotoko beat Dreams FC 3-1 away from home in their opening game. In 2022-2023, they drew 1-1 with Accra as a folk. And then in 2023-2024, they drew goalless at home to Heart of Lions. And the last season, they traveled to Nalerigo to face Karela United, and they secured a slim margin victory courtesy Albert Tamwa. So Kotoko's opening day fixtures have actually been here and there. There are some where they disappoint, and then there are some games where they win, but they've never lost in their last 5 opening match day fixtures. Kotoko has yet to taste defeat in such encounters. So it remains to be seen as to how Berekum Chelsea will fare against them. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Chelsea's last opening match day fixtures at home have ended in comfortable wins with a clean sheet. Last 3 seasons, 2022-2023, against King Faisal, a team from Ashanti region, Chelsea beat them 2-0. Then last 2 seasons, 2023-2024, they also beat Benin Stars 2-0. So whenever it is that Berekum Chelsea to open their season with getting victory for them, if they have to travel away, that is where it gets a bit difficult for them. There are somewhere they draw, and then there are somewhere they lose as well. Then the referee in charge of this game is Reginald Collins Samoa. Now, it would interest you to know that he has officiated in games where Kotoko are yet to lose. In the last 2 seasons, he's officiated 3 Asante Kotoko games, including Kotoko's 3-2 win against Accra as a folk, Kotoko's 2-0 away win against Ediana Stars, and then Kotoko's 0-0 away draw against Young Apostles. Reginald Collins Samoa has been at the center of all these games, and Kotoko have not lost. As regards Berekum Chelsea, he's officiated games for them. They've won 1 and then they've lost 1. Chelsea's away win against Medama Sporting Club, that was 2 seasons ago. And then last season, Chelsea's 2-0 defeat against BBN Gold Stars. He was at the center. So the referee actually does kind of advance. He does officiate well for them. But the record is that when he's a center man in Asante Kotoko games, they don't lose. They've won twice out of 3, and they drew the other. And then of the 3 games, all of them were away matches. The House of Folk 3-2 win 2 seasons ago was an away win at Accra. Kotoko won 3-2. Then again, the 2-0 win against Adriana was at Doma, and the 0-0 draw against Young Apostles was also away at Wenchi. So with him being the helmsman at the center for the game at the Berekum Golden City Park, will it also be another team or an extension of the unbeaten streak Kotoko has when this man has to be the set free? That is the interesting thing. Now, how has Kotoko been preparing for this game? Yesterday was their final training session. They did not train at their usual time. They normally train between the hours of 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Now, there was an IMC and a technical team meeting scheduled for the technical lesson by Karim Zito to push the training to the morning. They trained in the morning from around 8:30 to 10 a.m. 24 players took part in training, and of the 24 players that trained, there were three of them or 2 of them that did an isolation training. They isolated themselves from the main group and they did their personal training. And they are Emmanuel Kote and then Michael Sefa. They have not fully recovered from their respective issues. Kote went on a lengthy injury. He just returned. So he's been put through the physical phases to ensure that he's ready to take part in active group training sections. Michael Sefa, similarly, he's not been fit, and so they're not training with the group. Shaibu Abubakar, who deputized a right back for them during the top 4 competition in place of Lord Amwa, who's also injured, did not train at all. He showed up in various sessions in training this week, but he was not deemed enough. They won't play a part in the game that Kotoko will play against Brekum Chelsea. Those who were absent from training were Baba Yaya, Lord Amwa, Peter Amiduakwa, Elvis Chebafor. They did not take part in training. So these 7 players will not be part of Asante Kotoko's contingent that will be traveling to play against Brekum Chelsea. There is a tiny chance that Shaibu Abubakar will get an inclusion into the squad. But looking at what they have to do to prepare for the Africa campaign, I want to believe that they want to wrap him in cotton wool and ensure that he is ready for the game against Chorus. So they will not risk him in that game against Chelsea. So it means Kotoko will need to have a makeshift defense, especially for their right back position. Lord Amwa, their main starter at the position, is not available due to injury. Shaibu Abubakar, his deputy, is also not available due to injury. Emmanuel, right back, is not available due to injury. So it looks like how we saw the Kotoko defense set up in the closing stages of their game against Viviani Gold Stars in the Champion of Champions would actually be seen in the game against Brekum Chelsea. Musa Hamzata will likely get the nod to play as a makeshift right back. If he doesn't, there is a remote chance that Jordan Elisa, who is a youth team player, and then effectively a midfielder or attacker, will be given that slot to play as a de facto right back for the Asante Kotoko team. But he expects that the 3 goalkeepers who trained yesterday, Mohamed Kamara, Aziz Harun Adari, Benjamin Chum, definitely Mohamed Kamara will get the nod to start in the goalpost. The defenders, Patrick Essiedu trained. He will likely start at left back. Sambo O'Neill trained yesterday as well. He will captain the team and lead the central defense. And a decision will be made regarding who gets to partner him. Joseph Abdullah has returned to full training. Husseini is fit and active. Ben Henry will partner Sambo O'Neill at the heart of defense for Asante Kotoko if they decide to go for a 4-man defensive line. But if they are to go with a 3-man central defensive line, then it will likely be Zakaria Husseini, Joseph Abdullah, and then Sambo O'Neill. So it depends on the shape that the technical team decides to adapt. If they are going for a 4-man back line, the sure starter in that will be Sambo O'Neill in Dongani, and then also at left back will be Patrick Essiedu. Then the decision will be made with who plays right back and then who gets to play in central defense to partner Samba. In the midfield, the players who trained were Hubert Jehu, Seth Kwajo, Samuel Tinedu, Emmanuel Entry, Lord Hilary Adabo. And then the offensive midfielders, there is Walid Hussein Nema, and then also Johnson Opono-Uzu. So these are the players that Tito will be selecting his pack from for the match day squad. And then the attackers, Kwame Opoku is fit, Albert Tamwa is fit, Donzo Morifeng trained, Sakadada has returned, Philip Amo, Lord Listowell, and then Inus Adams. So these are the players who took part in training for Asante Kotoko yesterday. And then from this slot, Karim Zito will draw his match day squad to prepare for the game against Brekum Chelsea. The team is expected to leave today for Brekum, and then they'll prepare for the game tomorrow.
Well, we'll see what happens to Asante Kotoko. They need to buck the trend. I'm sure they would love to buck the trend. Let's see what Brekum Chelsea will have for them in terms of a response. Michael, just hold for me. For our listeners, let me just run by you the names of the head coaches ahead of the new season. This is just free public information for everybody. If you are following the Ghana Premier League season, this is public information for you. So, Hohoe United's coach, Tijani Abdul Rahim Bashiru, Hearts of Oak's head coach. Yes.
Hearts of Oak, Legon Cities. Is it that man?
Tijani Abdul Rahim Bashiru. Yes, Hohoe, yes.
Michael, do you know his assistant? Michael, you are muted.
Michael, it looks like you are muted.
So, Wafa, his assistants with Wafa, Lagos Cities, House of Hope, and now Hohoe United.
Okay.
His assistant will definitely be the coach. So where is the coach who qualified Hohoe to the Premier League?
I'm not too sure. I should have asked Uthman. We had Uthman on earlier. I didn't ask him that.
We'll get it.
Alfred Nelson was there, but I think he's left. So
Okay.
I don't know who is the assistant.
Who is the
but
assistant
Nelson
now?
is around.
So which means they've changed the technical team slightly
Yeah.
ahead of the season. Okay. So Tijani Abdurrahim Bashiru, he will be coaching Hohoe United. Hearts of Oaks head coach Masoud Didi Dramani. Swedru All Blacks Ahmed Ibrahim Fati. He's from Egypt. So they brought in an Egyptian to handle them. Very interesting. Swedru All Blacks. I see. Frimpong Mansoon, baby, any Gold Stars, they've kept him. So Hearts of Oak coach is new. Hohoe United's coach is new. Swedru All Blacks coach is new as well. Chioba Aristika, he's always around somewhere in the Ghana Premier League. He's Adriana Stars' head coach. Kasim Mengolo Kanse, Nations FC, they've kept him. Abdul Karim Zito, Asante Kotoko Sporting Club. Winfred Dormon, Dreams FC, he's now the new head coach. He was part of the furniture for a very long time, and he's been handed the team on a full-time basis. He's now the new head honcho there. So, Winfred Dorman, wish you the very best. Bechem United's new coach is Stephen Desmond Issa Botry. Stephen Botry. Bashir Hayford is Heart of Lions head coach. Christopher Ennin is Summer Texas head coach. Ibrahim Tanko, Medama Sporting Club. Nanajiman, Vision FC. Samuel Bwedu, Brekum Chelsea. Nuruddin Amadou, Karela. Abdul Henan, Young Apostles, he's a new coach. Neodate Lamte is coaching 11 Wonders, he's new. And Augustine Evans Adote of Basake Holy Stars. Interesting, they've also made a change there. They've brought in Evans Adote, ex-Mediama head coach, going there. So listeners, these are your head coaches for the new Ghana Premier League season, which starts tonight. This one is to give you some info in terms of the coaches. So you need to know your favorite team's head coach. All right, let me take final thoughts on the Ghana Premier League. Abigail Senas is here, Kelvin is here, Michael Asai Berdu is still on the line. We spoke to Mo Shaban earlier. All right, guys, let me throw it around. If you had to pick one game to keep an eye on, which game would it be? And can you give us a prediction? Abigail, which game will you be interested in the most this weekend?
This weekend, it can't be one.
Okay, two. I'll give you two.
Thank you. So, Hearts of Oak Hohoe United, for all the reasons we've talked about, looking to see if Hearts can break that jinx of losing to newly promoted sides or getting results and scoring on match day one.
There's also that one.
There's also that underlining factor. So it will make a lot of people want to see how Hearts of Oak will come out and perform, especially after they are championing and winning everything all season. So it's a game I'll pay attention to. Hohoe United have done a lot of things in the background ever since they decided to play in the Premier League. Right from Division 1, they did things differently. And I want to agree slightly with Uthman when he says that they could easily pass as one of the best Division 1 sides that got into the Premier League from last season. So they will definitely come in with a fight, but Hearts of Oak, for their own sake and maybe building up to match day 5, they must get results. And the form that Benjamin Asari has now, it would only be for that 3-back or 4-back to help him to be able to hold on and at least Eduku also try to continue from where he started from in the preseason as well, to be able to get goals for them. So I want to tilt slightly to Hearts of Oak.
Okay. You want to tilt slightly to
but if Hohoe runs away with a draw, I will not be surprised.
Okay, and which other game will you be interested in?
I'll be interested in who is Medama playing?
Medama are on the
because I
road.
want to see how Ivory Coast Camping would
they go to Wenchi. They are in Wenchi.
Will turn out for
Medama are going to Young Apostles.
Oh, then it will be a good start, I believe. Because after over 3 weeks, almost a month preseason in Ivory Coast, that's a huge one. So it should pay off. We should see them. We've not really heard about them, but I think they did some decent preseason stuff as well. And of course, Chelsea Kumasi Asante Kotoko. For me, I think that will be the liner of the weekend for me because of the history between the two. And so I really wish, on top of my head, that it would end in a draw again. But, but with the way as I would you smiling, I wish Kotoko wins for him.
Kelvin, which game will you be interested in the most?
I would want to see how Hearts of Oak will pick up. You know, they've been struggling in the last since Samuel Boadu left. They've struggled to find their feet, and I think that for you to start a season on a high, you need some level of confidence. Didi Dramani has given that, you know, with his preseason was just brilliant. The only game that, you know, proved extremely tough for him was his opening game, which he played against Kotoko in the President's Cup. You cannot fault him for that because, you know, the Hearts of Oak team had needed lot of work. I want to see how he would, or the Phobians would battle Hoho United. Last season, you remember how, you know, things nearly went south for them, but under Didi, I want to see how they'll respond. I want to see how they'll quickly pick up the pieces from their poor run of form in the last 3 years. So I think Hearts of Oak would just go into this game with a double chance opportunity. They are winning this. They are winning this. The least for them would be a draw. I don't see how Hohoi would surprise them this evening. Tomorrow, Asante Kotoko, the trip to Bekum Chelsea. If you've watched Bekum Chelsea Kotoko matches, you know this should be one of the biggest, you know. And this makes me miss the antics of Nanasa Fudro, you know, when such matches come up, you know, against Asante Kotoko. You see Bekum Chelsea and then they won't come through the usual entry point. You see them coming from, you know, inside the stands, you know, just behind the walls. Whether they jump the wall, whether they vanish through the wall from behind and then they get onto the pitch, that is something up to them. And it's always a difficult game for Asante Kotoko. Now Kotoko have players who used to play for Bekum Chelsea. Maybe they can give up, you know, bits and pieces of info how to break their, you know, former colleagues down. But I think if Zito wants to give his team, himself, the Kotoko fans, any confidence ahead of that next weekend's game against Kwara in the CAF Confederation preliminary round, this is the game that he can properly test his team with. They are confident how he wants to set up the team. You know, we've had complaints about, you know, the team not resting enough and all that. How would they be able to respond to a high-intensity game like this? And I think Kotoko should be able to win this, looking at how they've broken down the Chelsea team themselves with signings. And then Gold Stars also on Saturday against Bechim United. I think that Frimpong Manson needs to, you know, Gold Stars stand a better chance of winning this. Yes, I think they would be superior here at home, and then knowing that as Ghana champions preparing for Africa, they should have a better team. Thankfully, the likes of Prince Opoko Ajaman, you know, he's returned. The only problem I had with the Gold Stars team is they are finishing. They create lots of chances, but they don't have a finisher. How? Because, you know, Samson Eduko is not your tried and tested center forward you can depend on for goals. He will work, battle defenders and all that. You know, his work rate is top notch, but finishing is a bit problematic. So thankfully, if they have this player, Prince Obukwachman, and then they've brought in, is it the Burkinabe? Very tall and lanky. You know, when we went for the champion of champions, we saw him. If he's eligible for this game, we'd want to see how he can fit into the team and then finish off the chances, because they have a very good midfield. If you have the likes of Apia McCarthy, Francis Chene, Isaac Konto, you know,
Emmanuel Konto.
Yes, Emmanuel Konto. And Ajeti. They have one Ajeti who plays, you know, you can see when he's surging forward, he surges forward with power, and, you know, he has that ability to strike the ball. And their deputy guy, is it Atakumi, very excellent forward. The likes of Nkwa, you know, they have a very, very good team. And in defense, I think they have one of the best defensive, you know, central defensive players in the country. So I expect them to win their game, and then Heart of Lions should just beat Dreams FC on Sunday. Nations, they should start on a high against All Blacks if they want to really win this league. Last season they were disappointed, you know, by certain decisions, and then they fell off, you know, the pecking order, finishing even fifth on the log. Asasofuk finished fourth for the top four. Kasim Mengelo Kansi has to prove his point. You know, he's handling the Black Galaxies. So definitely people will be looking at him with double eye.
Yep.
You know, this season it's not going to be the same seasons where he was just handling Bechem United, just handling Nations FC. This time around, people will take a closer look at his team. So, you know, I trust him to deliver, and hopefully Nations will start on a high. The rest of the games, Diana, my own brother Tapuku and his team, yes, they should start well against Karela United, but we'll wait to see what happens. But I think Karela would start stronger. They've sealed all the loopholes, and it looks like they are making some very good gains, you know, in the last couple of months that I've seen them. So it's going to be an exciting season, and the weekend has lots of interesting games, you know, interesting matchups. If you were given an opportunity to visit or watch all these games, I'm sure those of us who love the local league would love to pick about 5 games, you know. Vision against Samatex will not be an easy game. Nana Kwekwajaman has to step up. Samatex, they struggled last season, you know, from champions to virtually nowhere, mid-table team. How are they going to pick up the pieces this season? You know, a lot depends on Christopher Enin, who has, you know, some work to do. Augustine Ivansadote Abasheke Holy Stars, how is he going to, you know, make them better than what Gazelle started with, and then he left off and the team had to just battle it out to escape relegation. So lots of interesting talk points from this weekend, and we hope that maybe after the weekend, lots of goals. What we want to see is lots of goals.
We don't want to see the 1-0 and things.
Yes,
No.
Faisal mentioned it yesterday. Ghana Premier League clubs, they be hitting the ball from 60 yards, 50 yards. How do you expect to score goals from those distances? Hopefully, we have an improved play, and then we see finishing top notch. But trust you me, this evening, you know Didi Dramani. If he's not beating you, you are not beating him. If he's not scoring, you are not scoring. That is what he has under his sleeves and under his belt. So the best for his opponent, Tohoy, I think would be a draw. But I tip Hartlepool to win this game.
All right, we'll see. Michael, which 2 games will you be on the lookout for this weekend in the Ghana Premier League?
Well, I think aside the Brekum Chelsea Asante Kotoko game, definitely House of Okohoy will be top of my bill too. Considering the fact that this is literally, if you are to dive a bit into history, it is House of Oak versus Liberty Professionals.
Yes.
It's Liberty converted
to Hohoy, yes.
It's an interesting game. Now, you see, Tijani Bashiru is an interesting character. Don't forget that the last job that he had in the Ghana Premier League, he left without even telling the club hierarchy that he had quit. He told them he needed to excuse himself for some personal stuff. He was a coach that was appointed by Young Apostles, and then he left without telling them that he had quit the job. So he's an interesting character. He's a disciple of Didi Dramani. So he knows well the coaching methods of Didi, trust me. And if he's to put together a solid tactical plan, I think today they could worry Accra as a coach. But maybe the Hearts fans can take solace in the fact that, one, the last time Didi Dramani was in the Ghana Premier League as a coach, where he went through the full season, he did win the league. 2, the last time Swedo All Blacks played in the Ghana Premier League was in 2008-2009 season. That season, Folk won the league with 52 points. So it looks like history, trends, and almost everything that has been happening seems to favor Accra Folk. And I think if they put in much effort and then they continue from where they left off last season, they should be in a better position to win the league this campaign. But they need to start well against Oho United. We all know that it is a slippery path. Last season, they started the season against a newly promoted side, which was Baseke Holy Stars, which they lost. So they will need to start well. And then the fanfare around this game, the attendance of the first gentleman of the land, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, gives this game another bite. And then the entertainment aspect, Stoneboy will be there to present. So it is a game that I wouldn't miss. I would have loved to be in the stadium. Unfortunately, I can't be there. So it means I need to catch it on the screens and enjoy every part of it. Then the next game would be, interestingly, Nations FC against Yogo All Blacks. I mentioned All Blacks last played in the Ghana Premier League 2008-2009. Their last game was, I think, July 2009, when they traveled to Tema to play against Tema Youth. That was the last time they played a Ghana Premier League game. They are back with all their fanfare, the buzz around them, Oza. They have actually decided to transport fans from Swedru all the way to Abrankese. They have allocated buses. I think every fan has to pay like 200 cedis. So they will want to come with a huge support base to make sure that their voice is heard at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. But for Nations FC and what they've done, last season they missed out on winning the league, not because they were not too good, but it got to the stage where they needed to handle situations well, and they failed. And that allowed the BBN Gold Stars to capitalize on. And if you look, they are one of the teams that have done their job quietly, but they've actually done a solid job in terms of recruitment. They made sure that they allow some of the fringe players in the team to leave, and also even some of the assured starters left, but they kept the core of the team, and they've bulked it up with the additions that they've made. I believe that they will be better this season than they were last season, and then they will make sure that some of the issues that bedeviled their season last campaign will be corrected. And then Kasim Mingo, one of the best and most consistent local coaches on the scene. I want to watch how they start against Swedru All Blacks. Am I permitted to add another? Game?
Yeah, just one more game.
I think that will be Medama's away trip to the Nana Ajman Park, Doma, to face Young Apostles. In fact, I have two teams that have tipped to win the title. I don't think Kotoko are good enough to challenge for the title, and they will have issues.
Okay.
They will have issues amongst them, management, technical team. I actually do fear for the future of Karim Zito. He's a man under pressure. He's promised that he will make the Kotoko team very difficult to beat. They will need to still build issues like team chemistry, bonding. The players will need to gel. So Zito has issues, and they don't have a reliable forward to get them goals, to put them in the discussion regarding challenging for the title. So Kotoko, to me, I don't see them as favorite for the title. House of Folk, historically everything backs them. But actually, deep within me, the team that I take to win the title is Nations FC. If you escape Nations, then you come to Medama. Medama have done a solid job in terms of recruitment and then also preseason. They decided to go under the spotlight. So not much has been heard from them. The very good part of business they did was in keeping some of their key players, precisely Kamaldeen Mamadou. He was arguably the best right back in the league last term.
Okay.
He was the best offensive defender in the league last term by the numbers he produced. Now, Stellenbosch comes in with an offer to sign him. Medama says, no, the offer is not much, so we are going to keep the player so he helps our cause. Medama wants to win the league. Moses Sama wants to win it badly. It is for different reasons. And I know where they can go to ensure this is achieved. And that is how they went about their preseason. They went to Ivory Coast to camp, low-key, did everything they were supposed to do. If Nations do not win, then Medama will win the title, in my opinion. And that's why I think their game against Young Apostles is actually a game to watch out for. How will they turn up? How will they play? And luckily for them, it is an away game, but they are basically playing at a neutral venue. The Wenchi Stadium is not ready yet. Club license has not passed its fit yet. So Young Apostles will need to cope with playing at Doma against Medama. And I think on a neutral grounds, it is anybody's game. So one to watch out for is Medama away at Young Apostles. The week ends, and then you see Medama winning away from home. Don't be surprised that I mentioned that they are actually a favorite in this encounter. So these are the key games that I'll be looking forward to see how far things go with them. And then for the newly promoted sides, Swedru All Blacks, Swedru All Blacks, Ahoy United, and then you have to add 11 Wonders. Almost every season in the last 4 or 5 campaigns, one newly promoted team springs a surprise, build on it, and then eventually show something. Last 2 seasons, Samatters won the league, a newly promoted side. Last season, they were a team from the Division 1 and they cemented their status. Last season, Gold Stars won the league, but again, they were also promoted from the Division 1, cemented their status and went. Heart of Lions have cemented their status. They look like one of the teams to beat now. So you look through the list. Ahoy United will need to show up. 11 Wonders will need to show up. All Blacks will need to show up. One of these 3 newly promoted teams will eventually cement their status and become one of the mainstays in the campaign. Who will it be? Their first match will show which team is actually well prepared for the campaign. But I take that. May the best team win during the weekend, but the big guns definitely will dominate with the headlines.
All right, we'll be here on Monday to run the rule over that. 9:28. Your messages are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. All right, let's quickly hop on the jet and let's go to Europe and touch on a few things happening there. In terms of the Premier League in England, the biggest game has to do with the Manchester Derby, and it's happening on Sunday. Manchester City taking on Manchester United. 3:30 p.m. on Sunday. Manchester City have got massive injury problems. Massive injury problems ahead of the derby. And Kelvin, let me get your thoughts on this. Right after the international break, Manchester City have had their injury list extended. Is Omar Mamouche the latest? But the list is quite long. The list is quite long. Right, some players withdrew from international duty due to injury concerns. John Stones, Rico Lewis, Nico O'Reilly, and all. But you never know. Vardio, Savinho, Foden, Ait Nuri have all had injury problems. Kusanov suffered a calf injury as they lost to Brighton, and Mamouche is the latest to have a doubt. Following the international weekend. Are they, Kelvin, how much of a problem do Man City have on their hands ahead of the derby? Or we should expect to see all these guys coming back? It's all a ploy, right, to stop players from getting injured during the preseason. Kelvin, I don't know what you make of City's injury list.
I don't think it should be a problem. Pep Guardiola should figure it out. You see, when I see managers complain about injuries and all that, last season Andoni Iraola, even this season, he still has about 9-7 team A or first team players injured, but he's still choking the results. Look at how he played against Liverpool. It was more like the same kind of squad, the same level of quality. Guardiola knew what was coming. The reason why he had to shore up his team with new players, many were questioning why buy Tijani Reyners, buy Cherki, buy, he had Mamouche and all that. And this guy, Nico Gonzalez, he's shored up his team. I don't think it should be a problem at all. Fine, injuries are part of the game. It got to a point last season, Liverpool were battling injuries, but they continued to win games. They continue to just pin teams to the wall and get the results that they need. I don't think it should be problematic for Pep Guardiola and his team. And looking at this, he's facing a Manchester United team that isn't, given the signs that, yes, this is a team that can worry Manchester City. They have all the quality in the world. And now he has an added advantage of a top shot stopper, an experienced one, as a matter of fact. Someone who gives strikers, forwards, attackers, the dilemma, where do I put this ball to evade the quality of Gianluigi Donnarumma? So I don't think it should be problematic. He still has his lethal weapons. If Erling Haaland is scoring 5 at national team level World Cup qualifiers, it brings his confidence. Ryan Cherki is still available. Omar Mamouche, fine, he hasn't been scoring. He's not a player that City can bank their hopes on. Tijani Reyners and all the likes are still around. So I don't think it should be a problem at all. For this weekend, he has a good enough team to churn out the results.
Okay.
I don't think City should have any concerns about there is an injury to this player, there is an injury. They have enough quality and should be able to deliver.
So you say despite the fact that some players will be absent, they should have enough to put together a team.
Yeah, they have enough.
That can beat Man United on Sunday.
They have enough. How many players are injured? How many of them?
It depends. I mean, some reports say 10 players. Some
10. Let's have the number and then see which likely replacements we can get for each one. Let's look.
Okay, let me go through the list that I have. Hopefully, it should be a very exhaustive.
All right.
List.
So start.
John Stones withdrew from international duty. It doesn't mean
he's going to be available.
So
he'll play.
So he withdrew from international duty. Sherky seems to be out injured.
There is Bernardo Silva.
Okay. Mamouche suffered a knee ligament injury. Not serious, but they say it's a bruise. So he may or may not play. I think they've ruled him out of this weekend.
There is Jeremy Doku.
Okay. Now, Savinho, Vardio, and Phil Foden, according to what I'm reading, could all be back in contention, but they could lack match fitness, but they could be available.
If they are not available, there is Tijani Reynolds, there is Rodri, there is Oscar Bob.
So on Wednesday, Manchester City did release a statement on Mamouche that he had suffered a bit of a knee injury and he would not be available for the derby.
Yes. So Mamouche, even I mentioned Jeremy Doku is available.
Yes. Ryan Cherki, he has a thigh injury. He could miss, according to this report, as many as 11 games. He could be back in November.
There is still, that's like I said, City can still play a midfield of Rodri, Tijani Reynolds, Bernardo Silva, and add Oscar Bob.
Okay, so which means that, Phil Foden, we've mentioned, he's struggling to get minutes.
Yeah.
So that John Stones, he's an asterisk. He could be back.
He's going to.
Kuzanov got injured last week. Savinho hasn't really played. Pep Guardiola said that Savinho would be out for a few weeks.
Kuzanov has made a return.
Yes,
he's fit.
And this, I'm talking about Savinho.
Yeah.
And that Pep, according to this, he could be back for the derby. So he's also.
So it's not. So you see, even when we mention this players, just look at the City team that can or that is available to play.
A very strong one.
Yes, if you have Donnarumma or even if it's Trafford in post, because Manchester United, how many shots on target would they have? Matthias Nunes.
So they can play. They can play Trafford.
Matthias Nunes has right back Kuzanov, John Stones, Aid Nuri. They have Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Tijani Reynolds. Then Oscar Bob, Ellen Haaland, Umar Mamouche.
Even if Mamouche is out,
Jeremy Doku.
There's Jeremy Doku.
They have enough.
They have enough.
They have enough to be killing teams off.
At least 12, 13 first team players.
Solid
Even
quality
15
players,
first team
yes.
players. Then you can add 1 or 2 youngsters.
Yeah.
That should be enough to do the job against Man United, who on their side will miss Cunha and Mount. Some reports have added Diego Dallo. I'm not too sure. If
Dallo has a muscle injury. I think he picked up a muscle injury, so he may also be out.
It looks like he may be out for the red side of Manchester as well. So that's the standout game from the Premier League. But a full fixture list: Arsenal, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have a new manager in charge, Ange Postecoglou. Will he bring the high line to Nottingham Forest?
And it's early kickoff too. Those matches are dangerous. And knowing Mikel Arteta and his stubbornness and his mess, he could lose this one. And if he loses, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you this. We know Arteta.
Kelvin, I think that I think Arsenal at a point where some of these games won't bother them.
I remember Nottingham Forest gives Arsenal lots of trouble
last season.
Yes,
I remember
Chris Wood and the likes. Even Awoni. They stepped our piece.
So
exactly.
Anyway.
Unless maybe Arteta and his team, knowing how they faltered against Liverpool, in the final minutes and how poor they decided to, approach the game, where many complain about it. No, come on, this is not the way Arsenal should play. The confidence of Noni Madueke from scoring Eberechi as playing for England, Declan Rice getting a goal, maybe that can just push the Martin Odegaard getting a goal and an assist. Mikel Merino scoring 4 times for Spain during the international window was just one. So we just hope to see if things can get better. But I think it's going to be quite difficult a game for Arsenal.
Do you think we'll see more Eze minutes this weekend?
I think so. Okay. I think Eze is going to see a lot more minutes because the Arsenal team without Martin Odegaard don't create so much.
That's true.
And Eze's quality is creation.
Yeah.
So his creativity has to be used well by Arteta, but that will also depend on how he's able to connect and feed off Victor Gyökeres.
Okay, all right. That's a quick run through the Premier League games. We need to do some athletics. We'll speak to Yalfosu in a second. Bournemouth, Brighton, Palace, Sunderland, Everton, Villa, Fulham Leeds, Newcastle Wolves, West Ham Tottenham. This is an interesting one. Mo Kudus going back to West Ham. Let's see how the fans will respond. Brentford taking on Chelsea, Burnley hosting Liverpool, and then you have the Manchester Derby on Sunday. So that's how the Premier League looks like. That's how the Premier League looks like. Alrighty, let's get on the line once again. Let's touch base with Yao Fosulabi. He's our man who will be keeping an eye on things in Tokyo in terms of the World Athletics Championships. Yao, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
This is Sporty
Good morning, Nathan.
FM,
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
We are fine. We are fine. Let's talk some athletics. The World Champs will begin this weekend in faraway Japan and all. Yeah. Just quickly run us through. Let's look at it from a Team Ghana perspective. The Team Ghana is set. There are about 8 or so team members. Joe Paul, Azamati, and others. Isaac Botio missed out for a number of reasons, some technical, others administrative. But overall, when you look at the potential of Team Ghana, what is it that they can hopefully do in Japan between the start and end of the World Champs?
Nathan, I think that the first thing they need to do is with the relay team. It's the biggest thing they need to do for themselves. I think that this will be possibly the final time that the relay team we built from 2019 would have a chance to win something. And so, the relay team would definitely have to do more this time around. I mean, Joe Paul is still, in the twilight of his career. Benjamin Azamati, after a few years, still hasn't hit the top strides that you expect that he would hit. So the relays should give us an opportunity to win something finally. And I think that the new boys who have also come into the team. Can you hear me, Nathan?
Yeah, I can hear you completely. Please go on.
So I think that the new boys who have also come into the team, Abdul Rashid Saminu, Ibrahim Fuseni, and Mustafa Bokpin, are guys who can also do better for Ghana's relay team, just for them to get into. I want to see Ghana in the final of the 4x100 relay, and then from then on we can see what they can do, because for South Africa, when they won silver, I beg your pardon, at the Olympic Games, the main thing was that they had to get into the final, and Akani Simbine was able to marshal the men to get them to do that. Now, when you look at that South African team, there was Sean Masengwani in there. Masengwani's personal best is a 9.9, which is what Azamati's personal best is. And like has always been said, the relays is not about how fast you are, it's about how you learn the technique of changing the batons. And I think the South Africans learned that they were able to do that well. And another thing that we need to know also is that the USA have missed out on, relay finals at the Olympic Games twice. It's been back-to-back for them. And so it's not about speed. It's about how good you guys can exchange the batons. For Ghana, it hasn't gone too well in the last few tournaments, but hopefully this time around that can happen. But I have high hopes though for Abdul Rashid Saminu. Earlier this week, we recorded a preview podcast, myself and Eustace Niakwe, and I told Eustace that I feel like this is the time that Rashid Saminu will possibly get into the final of the 100 meters. I know that it's going to be so far-fetched, but Rashid Saminu, he just has the goods. And I made examples of his time when he was a runner at Al Azariya Islamic Senior High School. He came into the Super Zonals that year. It was the school's first ever time at the Super Zonals, and this guy went on to win the 100 meters, shocked everybody. When he went to the Gusa Games, he shocked everybody and won. Now this year, he shocked everybody and broke the national record and broke his own record again to run a 9.84, which was at the time the best time in the world. So I think that he just has this shock value about him that people usually don't rate him. People don't give him that. They don't give him that respect that he probably deserves. And at that time, he shows them that I'm here to stay and I can do this. And so I honestly feel like it's Rashid Saminu would probably be make it into the final of the 100 meters. For Azamati, he made the semi-finals at the Olympics, and he will possibly get into the semi-finals again this time around. But I mean, I'm looking to see if he can be able to improve on that semi-final spot. Now, you know how stacked the 100-meter race is.
Yep.
It's really, really stacked, and it will be difficult for you to get into the final if you are not at your utmost best in there. Remember, Ferdinando Manyala did not even make the final at the Olympic Games. It tells you how tough it can get for the 100-meter runners. And then there's 200 meters for Ibrahim Fuseni as well. Fuseni was 4th at the African Games in Accra, where Joseph Polamwa won the gold medal. I think he ran a 21.7 to finish 4th. He was disappointed, but all he wanted to do was, he used that as a launch pad for him to get into the minds of people, to get his name on the lips of Ghanaians. And I think that he's been able to do that. Over the course of the time he ran at the African Games, he's been able to consistently improve his time. And I think that has been good for him. Qualifying for the World Championships alone is a really, really good one. And I'm hoping that he can also make it past the heats and get into the semi-final, because usually that is where the problem is. When you don't make it past the heats, you get a bit shattered, you get a bit sad, and things probably do not work out as much as you want. But when you get into the semi-final, it boosts your confidence. It tells you that maybe if you push yourself a little further, you can get into the places of the top runners. And I think Ibrahim Fuseni would have an opportunity to show what he has also got, and I'm tipping a semi-final berth for him. And then there's Rosie Aboa. Rosie Aboa's high jump story has been a bit checkered. She had a really good time. I mean, from 2019 when she won gold at the African Games, she won gold again in Accra at the African Games, and she won gold at the Gusa Games. She won gold at the West Africa Games. She won gold at the Africa Games. She's been that person who has consistently won gold for Ghana. Then she got to the Olympic Games, and after 3 jumps, she couldn't make it, which was really, really sad. I mean, from accounts of some of my colleagues who were there, she actually broke down, and she was really sad. Now, at the schools championship in the United States, she has also jumped some really good heights, which puts him among some of the best ever student athletes. And so I'm just hoping that she brings that level of form. My only worry though is that we've not heard too much about Rose in the last 1 year. We've not heard her have competitions. We've not heard her go anywhere to show her quality. She has not been to any Diamond League. And so that's where my worry is. But I mean, hopefully she's able to summon the spirits that gives her that confidence to jump those crazy heights, and then she'll be able to qualify as well. And I think this will be the first time Ghana would present an 800-meter runner at the World Athletics Championships in about the last 3 editions. And Alex Amankwa is back. He was able to qualify himself. He also ran at the African Games last year. He did his best. He couldn't get a medal for Ghana, but he was able to do something that kind of like that thing where they say you won the hearts of the fans.
Yeah,
I think that's what Alex Amankwa did at the African Games in Accra. So that is generally Ghana's contingent. I mean, the relay team, Alex Amankwa for 800 meters, the 200-meter sprinters, Azamati and Abdulrashid Saminu, and then 200 meters is Ibrahim Fuseni.
Great. If we zoom out and look at the competition, from a wider perspective, what are some of the how do I even say it, eye-catching events or eye-catching duels and showdowns and rivalry we should expect to see across the several disciplines or events that will be happening at the World Champs?
Nathan, let me start with the women's 100 meters.
Yeah.
I think the women's 100 meters is where there will be a lot of attention, because look, the women have shown that the competition out there is really tight. The first thing that everyone needs to note is that after this tournament, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is not going to be on the tracks again, and she would want to finish on a high. And so she's coming as a 37-year-old woman, probably 38, coming to try to win another world championship, which, in my opinion, would be crazy if she's able to do that. But I mean, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce ran her best ever time, that is 10:60, when she was 33 years old, which was unheard of for any woman in the 100-meter races. And so I think that, the fact that it's a final race makes him one of the favorites, really, because, I mean, she's won the most medals at the World Championships anyway. So she's definitely one of the favorites. Then there's Julian Alfred, who won at the Olympic Games. Then there's Melissa Jefferson, who has won every race in the last 3 months in 100 meters. And so it puts her above everybody. And the times she's running are also crazy. Then there's the return of Elaine Thompson, which, a lot of people feel like it might not go too well. But I think that, the fact that Elaine Thompson ran at 2 Olympic Games and won them back to back, and is the closest female athlete to Flo Jo's record at 10:49. That her record is at 10:54.
Yeah,
it shows that she's not also one of those ones you can just shove in the back door and say she's not good enough. I think that she's also coming to do something. Then there's also Sherika Jackson, who did not run at the Olympic Games last year because of injury. She's also back to potentially claim her crown. And look, I think that it is so stacked that I was looking at the heats. I was looking at the heat matchups this morning.
Yeah,
and I was wondering who are going to make it. Now, potentially Africa's greatest ever female 100-meter sprinter is Marie-José Talu Smith, and she is in a heat.
She's in the same heat with Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Yes. So that matchup will be really nice to see. I mean, they've had it for so many years, but to see it again would be a pleasure. And I think that it will be one of those things that many of the athletics fans will be looking forward to. Then there's the 100-meter men's races as well. I mean, Noah Lyles, Kishan Thompson, Oblique Seville, Letsile Tebogo, all of them will be back in there. Now, look, Nathan, that was why I was telling you that when I think of Saminu qualifying, or when I say Saminu can't qualify, it is almost frightening, because when you mention these names, you feel like they are already in the final. And when you say Kishan Thompson, he's already in the final. When you say Noah Lyles, he's already there. When you say Oblique Seville, Tebogo, they're already there. So who are the others who are going to partner them in the final? And I think that, their race will be cut out for them. I've seen a lot of predictions where people are saying that, Noah Lyles might not get on the podium, which I think is really, really funny. It was something that they did at the Olympic Games, and Lyles won gold in the 100 meters. Lyles is not someone to overlook or push over. And so I think that would also be an interesting matchup. And then in the 1,500 meter men's races as well, Jacob Ingebrigtsen, the man from Norway, he missed this opportunity to pick up the win at the Olympic Games. And I think that he'll be back now also to try to win to try to win his medal and to try to reclaim the top spot again. And so there are quite a number of matchups. I mean, in the 200 meters as well, there's Kenny Bednarek, who's also back in there to try to do it. For the women, though, there's no Gabby Thomas. So the women can now heave a sigh of relief and say that, maybe because Gabby Thomas is not here, it's time for me to win it. But you never know. I mean, the fact that Gabby Thomas is not there does not mean Julian Alfred could win it. But Julian Alfred came close at the Olympic Games. And so that's how close this year's races are. And I think that just as you and I know, the only event that might not be as close will be the pole vault.
The men's pole vault.
because Mundo Duplantis just has it under lock and key. But aside from him, I think that every other competition will be hugely, hugely contested. And you can't just predict who the winner would be.
Great stuff. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know where you are on your journey, but whenever it is you get to the champs, we'll speak again soon and we'll get regular updates from you.
Thank you.
Raymond wants to find out where exactly you are now.
I'm at the Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam.
Okay. He said he's in Amsterdam.
Oh, fantastic. All
right, safe trip to Japan, and we'll speak again when you arrive.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that was Yao Fosu Labi, our colleague. He's our man in Tokyo for the World Athletics Championships happening in the land of the rising sun. And let's not forget that his trip and, everything he'll be doing from Japan, proudly sponsored and powered by Stanbic Bank. So the World Athletics Championships is in Japan. So because of time difference, right, you need to be very sure of what you are doing. So, for example, if you want to watch the race walk, it's at 10:30 p.m. tonight, which is already Saturday in Japan. I'm telling you from experience, it's already Saturday there, right? And then you have races being run 2 a.m. Ghana time, because at 2 a.m. Ghana time, it's already 11 a.m. in Japan, right? They are already in the future. We are catching up. So that's just the time difference for you, Ray. It really messed me up when I was struggling to understand what was going on. I think I arrived. Was it when I arrived in Tokyo? I'm not too sure, but I was there when two things happened.
Yeah.
When Ghana beat Mali 2-1 in Bamako, and when the Champions League final was played. You know that those games were not too far apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was trying to understand what was happening. Charlie, by the time I checked my phone, Ghana had finished playing. And I said,
What's over?
how has Ghana finished playing? And then the Champions League final 2, I couldn't catch it on telly. By the time I woke up, I think, what time was it? Was it at 4 a.m. Japan time? And the game was being played, basa. So the clock there some way. So that's the thing. Ray, let's wrap it up with some boxing.
Yeah.
This weekend is a showdown. This is a proper showdown. Two boxers in their pomp.
This bout.
Meeting. First of all, Ray, what is at stake?
Well, what's at stake is bragging rights, history, legacy. There's the whole middleweight belt on the line.
So Canelo is putting his belts on the table.
The super middleweight belts are all on the line. And so it serves quite a contest, There's history to be made for either boxers. The legacy of both boxers comes under huge scrutiny because of this bout. And for a lot of boxing fans, this is one of the fights that
Sporty FM.
Every pundit will struggle to call. It's just difficult. You see, Nathan, both boxers have had very good careers, without doubt. Crawford, starting from amateur, winning 58 fights, losing 12, so 70 fights in total at amateur level. Never won the Olympics, but he won lots of championships to actually prove that indeed he had a very good basics.
Yeah.
Okay. Same for Canelo. Yeah. Canelo also did 44 wins and then lost twice. So he also had a career of 46 amateur fights. So these are boxers who are well grounded when it comes to the basics. Now you look at both boxers. Both boxers they've danced around the 135, 154 weight category, especially for Crawford. He started as a lightweight. So between 135 pounds and 154 pounds, he's been playing around that weight class. And then for Canelo Alvarez, he's practically been around 147 and 176 when he went to light heavyweight. So these are two boxers who have played in different weight classes. Crawford, the light. Canelo moved into the heavy. Okay, so in terms of even punch power, you can tell Canelo has it because he's played a lot more from super welterweight to middleweight to super middleweight. He's stayed around there for a very long time. And then he attempted going light heavy. So in terms of punch power, Canelo definitely has tasted a lot more boxes within that weight class. For our good friend Crawford definitely has played around the lightweights. Lightweight, light welterweight, welterweight, and then super welterweight. Remember in 2023 when he defeated Errol Spence to become the undisputed welterweight champion.
Yes,
so
I watched that back.
He's been around that weight class. Now going into this fight, Crawford has had to move up weight, jump the middleweight, and go to super middleweight to take on Canelo Alvarez, which many believe was too much of a jump for him. But he wanted the fight to happen.
How much of a jump are we talking about in terms of numbers?
So he's moved from 70 kg to around 76.
Okay, so 70 kg.
70 to 76. So
which means he's had to put on extra weight
to get to that point to make the bout. And a lot of people have said that could possibly be a bit of a challenge for him. Many have said that jump in weight class could be where he struggles a bit, because he's clearly won bouts and won titles in all 4 different weight classes, and all those 4 weight classes have been lightweight, light welterweight, welterweight, light middleweight, which is the super welterweight. Okay, now for Canelo, when he defeated Jose Cotto in welterweight, he never stayed there for long. Then he moved to light welterweight, which was super welterweight, where he made that bout with our good friend Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
After that, he moved upweight, went to middleweight, then dominated middleweight, went to super middleweight, dominated super middleweight, and then he decided to take a risk by moving upweight to the light heavyweight. That was when Dimitri Bivol beat him well, and then he decided not to stay there again. He dropped down to the super middleweight. So that's where his range. Okay. Now, what do both boxers have? Nathan, when you look at both boxers, and I try to chronicle a bit of everybody's strength and everybody's weakness, so just give me a bit of time. Now, when you look at Crawford has one ability in boxing that not too many boxers have. That is switch hitting. So he's able to maneuver between the orthodox stance and the southpaw stance. That is
so Crawford can fight either way.
He can fight either way. And what it gives him is that it gives him a lot more strength on the offensive side. Okay? Because he comes with a lot of unpredictability. And it gives him a strong defense as well, because he's able to figure out how to create an angle to shield punches. So that's the advantage it's giving him. The only boxer in history that we know had that ability was Marvin Hagler. So Terence Crawford is that boxer who is able to switch between those stances. And that's what makes him very dangerous and unpredictable. Okay? And that's how come he's been able to reign supreme, winning close to 41 bouts in his career. And if you look at his career and the battles he's been in battles, and he's fought some of the best boxers. And fighting those best boxers, clearly, he didn't just fight them, but he dominated bouts to make them look very ordinary. If you go back, you look at fights he's been in, he's fought some of the best. He's been in battles with Ray Beltran. He's been in battles with Victor Postor, John Molina, Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan,
Miguel Cotto.
You know, all these boxers, Kell Brook, and then until recently 2023 when he defeated Errol Spence to dominate the welterweight. So clearly he's been in battles himself as a boxer, and this is one of the moments where he finally possibly cements his legacy as one of the best boxers of all time. He's undefeated. In all those bouts, he's undefeated, no draw, no defeat. That's where he stands. And he also has very good speed, especially his hand speed and combinations. That's where boxers who are not very fast struggle with him. And that's where a lot of boxers seem to struggle. His movement is quick, his hand speed, his punches, his counter punching. In fact, he's one of the boxers described. Yeah, for Crawford.
For Crawford, yes.
He's one of the boxers a lot described as having a very high ring IQ because of how he's able to adapt and read his opponents. He's able to read his opponents quickly and adapt to their fight style whilst imposing his own fight style. That has been Crawford. Okay? And in terms of conditioning and his finishing ability, he often starts fights slow, trying to steady his opponent and then try to figure out how to take them out quickly. That's him. He has very good conditioning, excellent finishing ability, and Nathan, he's one of those boxers who definitely, on any day, would ask lots of questions that Canelo must find answers to. But you see, where the weakness comes in is with the reason I spoke about earlier, he having to move up weight. He's never fought in that middleweight class. He's never fought there. Okay. And so it comes as an unfamiliar territory for him. And there's a lot of uncertainty about how his punch power is going to be. Because in the lightweight, his punch power will take out those within that space. Now he has to find a way to have punch power that can take out Canelo Alvarez if he's possibly looking for a knockout. And that's where a lot of people believe, well, he may have challenges. A lot of people have also questioned whether he may have that durability that he's had. A lot of people also say, you know, they don't know if he'll be able to have the stamina to be able to go through the entire 12 rounds if he has to get there. And then a lot of people have questioned his speed because he's obviously going to fight against a larger and a stronger opponent. That is where a lot of people feel the weakness could come in. But that said, a lot of people have also questioned his punching power in a higher weight. Can Crawford's punch hurt Canelo? Just like I said, because of where he's coming from. If his punch is not heavy enough to hurt Canelo, then definitely, if the fight should travel the distance, maybe Canelo may not get it. And then his foot speed and his reaction at higher weight. Nathan, because he's put on weight, because he's gone up weight, that flexibility, how quick it was, fighting in the lower weights or the lighter weights may disappear a bit. You know, there'll be a bit of set off because he's had to move up weight. So would it be that quick? As we've seen him fight in other fights, all of those concerns a lot of people have raised. But let's talk about Canelo. Canelo comes in as that boxer who he knows he's tasted defeat before. He knows what it feels like to lose bouts. And so he comes in knowing very well what it feels like to react in matches. Remember, Floyd Mayweather defeated him somewhere 2013.
Yeah.
Post that defeat, he went on to win 21 fights. And he didn't just win 21 fights. He won 21 fights against some very, very, very credible boxers. Okay? And if you look at his fight record and the people he's been in rings with.
Khan.
He's been with Khan.
Smith, twice against
Golovkin, the man who's said to have the strongest chin in boxing.
Yes.
And he found a way to win. Despite the fact that a lot of people felt, well, maybe there was travesty of justice in that bout. But he fought against Golovkin, did the job.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yes. He did Julio Cesar Chavez, Amir Khan, Miguel Cotto, you know, Sergey Kovalev, Callum Smith. He's been in battles. Okay, he's been in battles, and so it's difficult to see how Canelo goes into this bout and then struggles. Okay, apart from that bout he lost against Bivol, which I said was a bit of a risk because he decided to go to the light heavyweight.
Okay,
he's made sure he's had a good return. Jamel Charlo, Jamie Munguia, you know, William Scott, he's made sure he's bounced back very well. And that is where the confidence comes in for him. He feels he's dealt with very cracked boxers. Mayweather, Golovkin, Cotto. How many boxers can stand against these boxers and excel? He's done that. He's been there, done that. 63 fights, 2 losses, 2 draws. Definitely, he comes into the ring with a lot of ability. And he's fighting in a weight category he's experienced in. That's one of the pluses for him. And for many boxers, they'll tell you his composure, his timing is excellent. Timing, especially in big bouts, when to land those jabs, when to make sure he delivers the killer instinct, the killer punch. Excellent when it comes to that. Now, what a lot of people have also said about Canelo is that his punch power. Very good punch power. He has a lot of power in his punches.
Yeah.
And that is where many feel that, look, when it comes to delivering those power punches at the mid-range, so when you talk about the mid-range, you're talking about the stomach.
Yeah.
Depending on how Crawford blocks him off, if he lands a lot of those punches there, he gets to get Crawford to drop his guard. You get it. And he's a power puncher, so definitely a lot of those punches could trouble Crawford. That's where the challenge again comes in for him. Defensive ability, excellent. He's very durable in the ring. Canelo has shown that, look, he can take a punch and he can return a punch. Yeah. Very good defensive guard and all. So everybody's expecting him to go into this bout and then dominate his opponent. Again, challenges, he's not the quickest. Slow foot speed, especially when he's fighting faster opponents. When his opponent is a bit faster, he's not able to react quickly. But again, Crawford is fast, but not fast in this weight division. So we may have, there'll be a bit of a set-off in terms of foot speed in that bout as well. And then a bit of nerviness at the start. You know, he normally gets into bouts right from round 5 upwards. He may not start well, but once he finds his rhythm and gets into his groove, he's able to utilize all the tricks in the box for him and then, you know, tries to do the job. Crawford would have to utilize his speed in this game and make sure he starts well. and avoid getting into battles where there's a battle of strength between himself and Canelo, because Canelo obviously, being comfortable in that weight division, would have a lot more power than him, and then he would have to make sure he avoids a lot of body shots from Canelo. If he's able to do that, he stays in a bit more, and then he has to be smart, do a lot of smart timing on the offensive and all. So for Canelo, it's definitely going to be business as usual for him, putting pressure right from the start, making sure that he does a lot of body work. If he's able to land his punches on the body of Crawford, definitely Crawford is in for lots of trouble. Counter punching must be quick. All of those things. So Nathan, having said all of this about both boxers, it is clear that both boxers know how to do the business in the ring. These are two of the finest boxers we've seen in recent times. If you ask me who's going to win, I would lean slightly towards Canelo because of the comfort and the experience he has in that middleweight division. Solely that. Pure boxing in the ring, pure boxing artistry, ring craft, footworks, everything, I'll give that to Crawford. But can his punch hurt Canelo? That'll be the big one. That's what I'm saying. Unless something drastic happens and Crawford possibly just combines well to knock Canelo off, if this fight travels a distance, it could be Canelo's fight.
If it goes, because you see, Canelo's recent run, his last 6 bouts have been won via the distance.
Yeah.
His last 6 bouts have been
he's
won
a very durable boxer.
Via the distance. If you look at fights from 62 to 67, defeated Golovkin on distance.
Then John Ryder,
Jamel Charlo, Hemi Mungia, Edgar Bailanga, and William Skull.
He's done all 12.
Yes, so
even when he lost to Bevo, he went all 12.
You know, so
he's very durable.
He's very, very durable. So that's the thing, and he might want to drag this thing out, knowing that he's comfortable in the weight and he can naturally last longer at that weight than Bud.
Yeah, Bud is more of a knockout specialist.
Yes.
He's done 41 fights, 141. He's 31 by way of knockout. So again, his durability will be questioned. And that's what I'm saying. If this fight would have to travel the distance, possibly.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't make more mistakes in the bout, if he keeps it simple, delivers his jabs, gets a counter punching right, gets his switch hitting on spot, and possibly gets one powerful hook that takes Canelo out. Well, that's all possible, but some of us are worried about the punch power.
Yeah,
if it can hurt Canelo.
I agree with you.
But that's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
There's going to be a beautiful fight to watch. 2 technicians in the ring.
Yeah.
And I mean, anybody could.
Are you afraid it may be a boring bout because everybody might want to preserve themselves, or you think that?
Nathan, I think both boxers will want to sell a fight. And for Canelo, fighting in Las Vegas is almost like his home ground, and he's fighting on the Independence Day of Mexico. So, Nathan, everybody will be rooting for Canelo in that ring. And Bud himself has admitted that, look, he goes into this fight as an underdog. A lot of things may not play in his favor, and that's why he has to surprise everybody. Yeah. And then earn the name for himself as that unbeaten boxer, and do it in a style where he cements his name as one of the greatest of all time.
Because if you can take down Canelo, you've achieved
that's
a big thing.
Absolutely.
Plus, you are taking all his belts.
Yeah. So it makes it an interesting matchup. But Nathan, take nothing away from Crawford. He's done it all. He's been there, done that. Yeah. 41 fights.
He's a proper boxer.
If he doesn't win this bout, I won't.
It won't be a knock on his legacy.
Okay. It doesn't take anything away from his legacy, because, I mean, we've seen boxers move up weight and struggle. He's had to move up weight twice. He's had to move two weight classes up. It's difficult, but you can expect Crawford to sell a fight. Yeah. You can expect Crawford to go in and fight. Yeah. But if he loses, that's what the script would say. that would have been just what the scripts predicted. So, but Canelo on any day, Nathan, legend.
That bout is happening Saturday night in the US, Sunday morning here around 2 a.m. And I'm told it's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, wake up at 2 a.m. to watch Canelo versus Crawford. So yeah, We'll all watch that. But that's how I wrap it up, Ray. Thank you so much. Thank you to Kelvin. Thank you to Abigail. Thank you to Michael Asaibuedu. Thank you to you, our listeners. Thank you so much. Monday, we'll open lines for you. So you can talk about everything that happens. So Monday, prep, we'll do boxing, Ghana Premier League, European football, athletics too, because athletics would have started. This weekend is a very important weekend of sports, so keep an eye out on a lot of the things. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan Kwa. Many thanks to my production team, Abigail Senasusu and Aneki Amankwa and Angela Mensah. Shout out to Emmanuel Ayamga and Fly supporting us on the stream and social. Shout out to you, our listeners. Shout out to my DJ Fidelis.